The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
The tape never lies.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
This game is about an attitude. You're the Bears. You live and die with it. You can't let the officials control the game. And you can't let your young quarterback with the GM up in the box decide who the fuck is playing because of their status.
Make the switch to get the spark, and you saw it. I mean, you saw it, and is it sustainable? We're gonna see. We'll see. But you had to make the switch there, Phil. I'm 100% with you, and this is the overriding theme. Yeah, this is the overriding theme here, Phil. More so than anything, is yes, you can have your Mitch Truthers or your big dick Nick supporters, whatever. End of the day, we're 3-0. Nick came in and did what you want your quarterback to do. That's why they brought him here.
I couldn't handle that.
We done lost. We lost to a fucking bear. Our base ain't even bear season.
They might as well just give the other team a lead and then try to come back, because this choking thing is just never ending. It's never gonna stop. I'm just tired of it.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the Bears today? 3-0. It reminded me of the time the Macho Man lifted the Hulkster over his head and body slammed him. Chicago Bears, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's that time to keep it 100 with Shy City Sports. And my boy Mark Grote.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
And so the Bears are sending their compensatory fourth-round pick to Jacksonville for Nick Foles.
Keeping open competition.
Keeping it 100.
Like the people drop off, but we still run rockin'.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100. Keeping it 100. Keeping it 100, baby.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100. The smartest man.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Chicago Bears sweat. Cole Kmet.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. The dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now they're moused up like the Jew and now and later. Debaters, stars get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. We're down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks rolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the upstairs. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We analyze so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Hard crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Draft Dr.
Keep it 100.
The
Shayne, Money Man Marsaw.
Yo, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports Keepin It 100. Phil, what an open. That was hilarious. That was great. I mean, dude, we're 3-0. Let's go. We lost a running back. We gained a quarterback. So we're on to Indy. We're on to the Colts. And, tonight we're going to have a great show. We got 670 the scores, Mark Grote, and all the other segments everybody loves. So let's bring the boys on. Phil and Shayne, what's going on, guys? How you feeling?
Yo.
Let's get physical.
What's up? What's going on?
Is my mic all right?
That was
Claudio?
awesome, Phil. That open was hilarious.
You have fun with that open, Claudio?
I love you, Draft Dr. Phil, but can you go to school with your audio problems, Draft Dr. Phil?
Yo, we're 3-0. We're on the air. We're having fun. This is what it's about, guys. Like, every now and then, I don't know, in life, I don't know about you. I only can speak about me personally. So there's this feeling because there's so much in the world that's negative, including, like, I was talking to Shayne, like, Christ could come down and give everyone a fucking pillow, right, Claude?
Yep.
And then you'd still have people, Christ,
yeah.
This pillow's a little bit
everything's gotta be perfect.
Shayne's analogy was perfect. I just couldn't remember it, so I had these in mind. But the reality is, you're never gonna please everyone. You're always gonna have haters. And that's really when you know that you're doing shit right here at this network. The Chicago Bears are 3-0. Guys, the tape never lies came out today, Shayne. The show is now. We get to talk about this football team with all of the layers, all of the drama, and really watching those opens with stuff that you guys and Cars and Ryan Cox shared with me, some of these Falcon fans, and it was a lot of fun putting that together. I told Shayne, I got some gold tonight with how we're going to open the show in Phil and Shayne fashion. So I'm glad you liked it. We are here. 100 crew is strong. That's where we're at, Claudio. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling awesome, man. I mean, listen, we had ups and downs in all these games, but I think Nagy made that right decision to put Foles in, and we're rolling with him. And I think the people that are upset about it, if you're a real Bear fan, you just got to root for the Bears, whoever the quarterback is. And, I think, that's about it. And our defense is looking good. Defense doesn't get a lot of attention yet, but I think the defense is going to start really stepping it up. I mean, our secondary is awesome. And, I think we're on the right track.
Shayne, you've been unreasonably, weirdly quiet, like looking down.
I'm always quiet. I don't know
what's going on. Are you getting updates from the family? Are you good over there?
Oh, no. I'm good. You know me.
Okay.
No, this is exact. Phil, you and I talked about this today a little bit, and this is exactly what we want, the way that this is unfolding right now, because I don't care if you're pro-Mitch, anti-Mitch, pro-Foles, anti-Foles, pro-Nagy, anti-Nagy. You got your questions answered with Mitch. He didn't hold up his end of the bargain, and I know there's some questions that come along with that. But now the hand-picked quarterback that your head coach wanted is at the helm. He's the starting quarterback. So any questions now, there's not going to be an excuse for the head coach and say, well, I didn't have my guy in there that could run my offense. Now the radar comes off of Mitch's forehead, and it's going to go squarely on your head coach. And as a Bears fan, as an analyst of football, with what we do, that's exactly what you want. You want to get these questions answered. There's nowhere else for these guys to go now. Now, this is Nagy time now. No more about it, man. It's, no more bullshit. Remember those days, Phil? No more bullshit. So it's all going to be on Front Street. Yeah.
We've lived this life. What's up, Diamond Scott? In Maryland. I'll shout everybody out when they say hello. The reality is we've lived this life with Wanstead, Jerron, Lovey. I don't know if you saw that. My boy Jamari Riddick sent me the footage of Devin Hester talk about Jay Cutler. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Ouch.
Maybe we can upload that at some point. Maybe do a special show on that because that is very fucking telling.
Tell everybody what he said. I mean,
well, he basically said Jay Cutler, the quarterback, had everything, what God gave him. You know, what we've talked about. Great talent, great arm, great accuracy. And then he goes, he was a piss poor leader. He had clicks.
The worst
leader. The worst leader. He had clicks, and he only talked through certain people. So it was very enlightening there. There's always these cliques in a locker room. You know, you look at it life, you see it. You know, whether it be at school and you grew up with, or playing a sport, you saw it. You know, they make constant movies and Netflix and whatever. You know, the nerds, the jocks, the preppies, the mean girls, the hot chicks, the cheerleaders, blah, 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 down the line, right? In the Chicago Bears locker room, Shane, you pointed out that you saw Jimmy Graham afterwards and Allan Robinson, who, oh, by the way, hasn't spoken to Mitch Trubisky since he's been benched. So, do you think there's some relationship issues there?
He goes, yeah, we'll get around to that. No, I mean, you saw Kyle Fuller on the field walk up and give Mitch the fist to the chest, like, you know, hey,
right.
You know, Lance Briggs talked about it a little bit. At the end of the day, Mitch's story here hasn't been written yet. Let's be honest, Nick Foles has never went over, 12 games in a season? There's 14 left. He doesn't have the greatest injury history. So, you know, Mitch, there's a really good chance that Mitch hasn't written his, you know, there's not a period at the end of his story yet. You know, still to be continued. You don't know what will happen, but I mean, it's not looking good for the future. But when you have your number one wideout, like Phil said, Allan Robinson wants a contract, and he hasn't talked to Mitch Trubisky since he's been benched, that tells me everything I need to know about Allan Robinson's mind frame when it comes to Mitch Trubisky.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
I mean, when you see what it was, he 10 for 123 versus Atlanta.
Listen,
you know,
when you're breaking down the tape, obviously, how many views did we get, Claudio, now in a few hours? Over 11,000?
Yeah, about almost 10 something, 10 point something.
No, we're over 11,000.
Oh, is it over 11 now?
So we're over 11,000, and you see the reality of what those two differences are. And there's I always cheer for the jersey. So when you attack the tape and you want to do it analytically, you're not going to the PFF grades. You're not going to somebody else to see what they think. You go to this network for what I have to show you and break down. Some of the compliments are so humbling. I truly appreciate it. And that makes us strive to be the best. But my truth is this. The deep ball accuracy was a frustrating course for the head coach. Because if you're going to be an aggressive attacking football team and you want to get people out of the box so you can run and do the things that you want to do creatively and philosophically, if he can't keep the ball in the field of play, which we've seen this over and over, and I think the last straw was the Anthony Miller deep ball right before the half there. And I really felt like they went into the locker room as coaches and talked about this, and then the interception came, and that just put you over the top. Now, this is what I wanted to break. We're going to do some breaking news. And really, I want you to watch the coach here. I've been very hard on the coach. Claudio was with me, sitting next to me, watching the game, and I said, it's time. You gotta take him out. You have an opportunity to win here.
Your words were take the fucker out. That's what you said.
That's right. That's what I said. So the Tape Never Lies Network, thank you, Edwin. I totally appreciate that compliment.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Hey, Coach. 2 questions for you. I just want to clarify. You don't know who the starting quarterback will be beyond this week. Am I clear on that? Is the first question. And then the second question, your offensive line, the improvements there just seem to be improved lines in the league this year. Just some thoughts on that.
Yeah. So as far as the quarterback, when I say the starter, that's with Stacy with Nick. He's our starter moving forward. I don't know if sorry if that was unclear.
Keeping it 100.
So that's what we do here. Anybody questioning now, there is no question. They made that decision. They had the competition. They allowed him to play it out. We are going to have Mark Grote coming on the air with us soon. We can ask him his thoughts. Is there truth to the Pace conspiracy? Was there a real competition? People have their theories. For me, though, the chapter and the page needed to be turned because right about now, the emotion of wanting Mitch to succeed is here. Wanting the Bears to succeed is way up here. And if you as a fan want to attack me, the guy that will stand up for the truth on the tape where it matters most, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, I can't. I don't know what to tell you. Shane, Phil, you see everything.
Yeah, Phil, to your point, here's something that I came across, and I think this is telling exactly what we are talking about in this offense and what the Bears need. Prior to the Falcons game, the Bears' longest pass play for the season was 28 yards. Nick Foles completed passes on Sunday for 28 yards, 29 yards, 30 yards, and 37 yards in the second half alone. So you're talking about one pass play, was 28 yards, and Foles exceeded that. How many times did I say? 4 or 5 times in the second half. Those are the differences right there when you're on a team with an offense that's all over the place because points are at a premium.
Yep.
And when you have a kicking game that's up in the air, you can't even rely on your field goal kicker.
That's true.
So you have – hey, we know that Atlanta's not a good defense, but Nick Foles took them on 6 drives and technically scored 5 touchdowns. When you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they took Boger and company, which we found out, by the way. Jerome Boger is from Atlanta. Is that a conspiracy? To me, it was. I showed you the push to James Dan right in front of them. And Boger, I should have pointed out, he looks over at it. You see his head turn like that to look at it. He goes, and then doesn't throw the flag. But he's awful quick when Mario Edwards goes in. I've never seen that. It penalized the Bears twice because not only does it take away the sack turnover, it also penalizes you on top of it. So it was a horrific
You mean the offsetting penalties, Phil?
Oh my
on the same
God.
team?
This guy's been doing it for years, just boggling the mind. Like, if I can see shit on the television and understand a flag needs to be thrown or something needs to be looked at, don't you think that they can hire some people with the modern technology that they have today to do it as well? Even with COVID, it makes fucking sense to have trained officials and people that know the game of football in and out, making them look at things. They couldn't even get the fucking Allan Robinson catch. Ty goes to the catch, hits his leg on the ground. I don't care who comes out at the end. That's not the rule. It's not the rule. They both come down with hands on the football. He possessed it. You called it a touchdown. And they still overturned it. To me,
Mike Pereira was he was like
he agreed.
How do you overturn that? How do you overturn
that? He came out flat and said, "Yeah, there's not enough to overturn."
I thought it was a layup. They would never overturn.
But Phil, what did I text you? I'm like, we're gonna get fucked over here, aren't we? You just,
oh my god.
For whatever reason, that seems to happen to Chicago. I mean, look at the Packers game the other day. You know, I remember on that 4th down play. I'm like, oh man, he's short. And then they review it, and then they give them. I'm like, that shit doesn't happen for us. I don't know why, and I'm not trying to be a homer here, but I mean, come on, it's craziness.
It drives me insane to see the way they officiate, and you know, our focus is on the Bears. It happens all throughout the league, I'm sure, but we've been a victim to it when we see the fucking darlings in Wisconsin getting every fucking break. Right. I've called this out for 6 years. I've been at the front line of it, being accused of shit. Oh, Phil, I complain because it's true.
Phil, Jeremy Ford put up a comment here. I mean, it should be pretty well self-explained what the differences are. Jeremy, first off, it's all about the offense, the offensive scheme. Nick Foles is comfortable. It's essentially the Philadelphia offense that he's running here that he played well in Philly with. He was not running that in Jacksonville and didn't have you can say what you want. Chicago doesn't have a lack of talent on offense. There's been some other issues. They have talented players.
I looked up the Super Bowl winning roster that he had, and I'm sorry, you compare our team with that team. I mean, we got way more talent than they do. Offense, defense, everything.
Well, let me say this: when people do that kind of exercise, like, well, why wasn't he successful here? There's so many layers on a football team, like, offensive line, the running back, the tight ends they're using, the philosophy, situationally, what are they doing? When you saw Nick step out in the football field, you can sense a level and an air of confidence in that he was going to deliver the ball to where it needed to be.
When we're watching the game.
It was very easy to see. This isn't like...
Phil, we've all heard it by now on the TV timeout when he pulls Anthony Miller, and he said, if they go 0 here, I'm going to have to get the ball off. Just run to the L.
He just
the ball will be
stayed there.
Yeah. Do you think that was happening?
I didn't
with our other quarterback.
I did not hear that audio. I'm pissed. Yeah. I gotta get that. I
can put it for you and grab it, but it's just little things like that.
That moxie, that leadership,
that permeates through the team. Yeah.
Listen,
and you can't learn that.
Why does Jacksonville suck every year? Jeremy, because their program and their philosophy, their coaching staff. I don't know. All I know is Nick Foles has been a Super Bowl MVP. I did a whole tape, never lies, on the guy.
Where
it was deleted, Shane. Oh. But it showcased the reality of what transitioned over there. It would be the perfect showcase back to back on our network. What I showed the second half against the Falcons and what he was. So Nick Foles fits what it is that Matt Nagy wants to do. And if you have an excellent down-the-field passer whose football acumen and IQ is very high, along with the reality that this motherfucker will wait to the last drop like fucking Maxwell House to let go of the ball. So he's going to take a hit. So to Shane's point, that audio, fully knowing that he's waiting on that and he's going to throw it to that spot is a showcase of just, wow. Big-time players make big-time plays. You need someone who's going to distribute the football to the right time and not think about it. How many plays did I show you? It's action. You know there's rush. Deliver to the outlet. He doesn't. He takes a sack. Whether it was pressure, we said it from the beginning. You rise to the occasion. We need competition for Mitch. Who's the real Mitch? Nobody knows the real Mitch. Just like Matt Nagy didn't have an identity for 11 weeks. Those things cost you. Right now, you're excited. I don't know who isn't excited to see what this team is come Sunday. I mean, I'm excited about Sunday because I want to see what Nick Foles brings to the table. And listen, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to just throw hate. You could just do it. Anybody could throw hate. What really, when you go under the table and you look at things through your eyes and you see someone being and fitting and rising to the occasion better than you would think they would, then you praise that person. I've coached kids. I'm like, this motherfucker is never going to be able to do it. And they surprise you. So you don't sell anybody short. So all of you fans, like, you got to understand this dilemma that you get to. Mitch's story isn't over. People are calling him busts. I got one guy on the tape never lied. Last week you're praising Mitch. This week you're not. I only could praise what is given me by Mitch. That's all I could do. I don't cherry pick. I only could give you what you got. And what you got is a lot of not. Almost. Do it consistent. Look at that foot. Did you see the swinging of the foot, Shane? I mean, this is year 4. Like, we can't be worrying about fundamentals when we got to fucking make plays and win fucking games. You're 3-0.
It's not even, Phil, and I know that we preach on that, but listen, this is the NFL. There's going to be a breakdown in fundamentals. I mean, if it's not, it's a huge part of the game, but you have to be able to hit, when you have it blocked up correctly, and you have a wide receiver that's open 38 yards downfield, running by himself, you have to be able to hit him.
Yes.
It's that simple. And we've seen it over and over and over with Mitch. It's either going to be an overthrow or it's going to be sailed out of bounds. We saw that on Sunday too. So it's not just the fundamentals thing. It's just making a fucking play when it presents itself. You have to hit it.
Yeah, at some point, you got to say, fuck you. I'm going to fucking make the play. I'm going to lead this team and make plays. When you're not in that mindset as a quarterback, it's over. It's over. If you're thinking, my father called me up. He's like, Philip, what a game. I got to tell you, I don't want to come on your show and everyone's going to get mad at me when I talk about Mitch. But he's not the guy Foles is. And that's the truth. Right now, that's the truth. And what else is the truth, Claudio?
The truth is we got somebody in the green room waiting to get on. He's chomping at the bit.
He's chomping at the bit. But we only do special intros for special people. And this guy, I consider a friend. I love him. Real quick, new listeners, backstory. Shane called him out when he first switched over from the Cubs to the Bears, and he wasn't tweeting enough for Shane. And Shane goes, this motherfucker's got the best gig in fucking sports talking about the Bears, and he's not even tweeting to the fans. And you know what Grote did? He fucking came on the show and stepped up, and this is what he deserves.
This guy has been with Shane and Phil so long, he needs to have his own office at the Tape Never Lies Network studio.
Here's the tape. The tape doesn't work.
Too soon? 100 crew. Get up out your seats and out of your mask and give it up for WSCR Radio's own Mr. Mark Grote.
Mark's no stranger to us. You know I'm from the Score, and so do I. Our best commitment's what we're thinking of.
Oh, there he is. The Grote.
Never
How
gets
you doing?
old. Never gets old, boys. I gotta. This is the only time I ever hear Rick Astley or any form of it, because the rest of my life I am avoiding Rick Astley. But with you guys, I can't avoid it. I gotta just like with the Twitter thing. I gotta just take it, I guess.
That's right. And that's why we respect Mark Grote. Not very many guys would come on and own up to it. And Mark, I don't know if you remember, you told us that night, you're like, I read that and you guys were in my head. And I actually took that moving forward. So
yeah, well, going back to that, it was like, yeah, it was in my head, but there was also part of me that was flattered by it too, because I was like, oh, they care. They give a shit.
Do.
They're like, okay, he's the Bears reporter. We want to know what that guy has to say or that guy has to report. So part of me was like, oh, all right. There's a little bit of responsibility in this gig to, make sure that social media is sprouting to all ends of the earth.
We can only take so many sessions of lunch with Larry, Mark. Come on.
I love Larry and his lunches.
This dude's always at lunch. I gotta get him on the show at some point, but you're on the show. I mean, how are you handling COVID, first of all? With you, are you able to be on the sideline? I'm curious to know how you handle that. Do you have to wear a mask? And then when you're asked anything from upstairs, do you take off the mask and that's when you talk?
So, yeah, for home games, I am reporting from not quite the sideline, but close to the sideline. So they have me stationed literally front row, 50-yard line behind the Bears bench. So I'm about 15 yards behind them. So it's a little bit different, slightly elevated.
Oh, we lost him for a sec. Can you hear me, Mark? We lost you for a second.
Did you go on mute?
You got me?
Got
yeah,
you.
There he is.
Got you now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I don't know what you heard, but I'll start over. I am doing sidelines, yes, for just the home games, no road games this year. And those home games, I am in the front row of the stands, 50-yard line, so behind the Bears bench, about 15 yards behind the players. So it's a little bit different because I'm not free to roam and, kind of hobnob before the game with the players and the coaches and, getting as much intel as I can. But, we're making do. And, yeah, obviously got to wear a mask. I've got all sorts of special credentials. I got to wear one of those NFL vests. And, I'm armed to the tilt with things that say I'm allowed to be where I am.
I can imagine, especially with the security and everything like that. It's unbelievable.
So, Mark, you're talking about this weekend with the Bears coming back to Soldier Field. How much of a focus are you going to have on watching Mitch and his interaction on the sideline? Is that going to be a pretty huge part of what you're going to be doing on Sunday?
That's a great point. Yeah, we'll see if Mitch is as engaged as the backup quarterbacks have been in his life, because going back to Chase Daniel, Chase was about as engaged as a backup quarterback as I've ever seen working with a quarterback. He was the first guy in Mitch's ear. Nick Foles was watching his presence. He wasn't as involved, or maybe he just wasn't as animated as Chase Daniel was, because I think that Chase Daniel knew, I think Chase Daniel really thought of himself as a coach. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nick Foles still feels like he is a quarterback. So while he was clearly in full support of Trubisky, even as the backup quarterback, when Foles was the backup quarterback, it didn't seem like he was, living it with Mitch, the way Chase Daniel was. But yeah, that's a great question. I will be watching Trubisky to see what his demeanor is. I'm sure that, he will have had plenty of time to let this all sink in and say that if he wants to still have an NFL career, he damn well better be, part of the
There's got to be some body language meters laying around from the Cutler era, right?
Yeah. That's the difference, though. That's the difference.
Right.
Cutler didn't care. Cutler didn't, he wasn't worried. He wouldn't be worried about me watching him. He'd probably just laugh at me and shoo me off and go sit at the end of the bench and smoke a cigarette or whatever. Whatever it is Jay Cutler did. So yeah, no, that's the beauty and the frustration both of Jay Cutler. He did not care what you thought of him. Still doesn't care what you think of him.
Mark, I don't know how much ear to the ground you have in regards to the front office with Ryan Pace and the relationship with Matt Nagy. And if you do, can you express, I know so many people on my Tape Never Lies video series are bringing this conspiracy that Ryan Pace, there was no QB competition, it wasn't real. Ryan Pace wanted to hand deliver this job to Mitch, and Nagy wanted Nick Foles, and thus this happened. Is there any truth to that in your mind?
I've never seen it that way. I mean, I love conspiracy theories, and that's fun to talk about. I mean, I do. Like, I hear it all, but I don't know. I had predicted, like I think a lot of my colleagues had. I certainly wasn't the only one. I predicted that, yeah, Mitch. If anybody that asked me throughout the competition, I said it looks to me like Trubisky's probably going to win the competition, probably more just because the fact that Nick Foles has not had enough time to compete for the job. I do think that there was some real in the fact that Trubisky plays well against Detroit. Even though they denied that had anything to do with it, I do think that helped, that the schedule was soft to begin the year, especially with the first two games. So I think that it was kind of a safe way. All right, this is last call. And I think that Matt Nagy was even okay with it. All right, last call. This is it. But if the second it starts to look like it did last year, he's out. And he was patient with him, obviously, in the first three quarters against Detroit. He was patient with him in the second half against the Giants, where he didn't pull him out, but he could have. And then finally it got out of control in Atlanta, where his bad was probably just as bad as his bad was in the first two games, but that was it. Nagy he'd given Ryan Pace's guy a chance, and no more, can't do it anymore. I'm going to do things my way. So I don't think conspiracy theory, but I think the way I laid it out just now is probably similar to what people are saying, in that there was yes, Matt was going to give a nod to Ryan Pace and say, I'll give your guy one more chance, but the second it goes bad, he's out. And that's what happened.
Well, let me double down on that and say, as the head coach, you are getting paid to do that because you have 52 other guys. And I've been very hard on Nagy and the politics at Hallis Hall when it comes to money and draft status and not playing the best always. With Charles Leno is a perfect example. You know how I feel about Charles. I think he's stealing money based on what he does out there. But with the quarterback, to your point, he had to make that decision, the coach. And I think for a young coach that's been learning on the job, and correct me if I'm wrong, this was his biggest decision, putting the team first. And I think that's just only going to help this team moving forward and the locker room.
Yeah, I think, the word that I thought of from their perspective, they didn't say this, but I'm guessing they're feeling it, and they won't admit it, relief. How could you not? I mean, they put, from the second that Trubisky walked into Hallis Hall, they have been putting, and it was obviously predates Matt Nagy even, they have been maximum effort for Mitch in terms of coaches, players around him, guaranteeing him that once he became the starter, that you're the starter. We're bringing in Chase Daniel. He is not a great quarterback. Everybody was there to help Mitch. I don't think I've ever seen an operation like that. And that's the way you're supposed to do it. Everything should be centered around the guy who you think is your starting quarterback.
Oh, we lost him for a second. Well, he was making such a great point there, Shayne.
I think he was itching and disconnected on his
I think
iPhone.
The disconnect. I'll text him back.
When he comes back, I'll actually ask him about what was Mitch on the sideline during when he got, because I didn't see anything.
There you go. I
there
think
we
you
are.
itched and hung up on us.
Did you guys see me, or did I go out there for a second?
You went out for a second. We lost you.
Here I am, but I'm back. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they went hard for Trubisky, and then when Matt Nagy came, They went hard for Trubisky in every way, shape, and form. They did everything they possibly could. So it had to have been, once they made this decision, which was a difficult decision, probably one that, literally kept Matt Nagy awake at night, even before he did it and after he did it, there has to be some semblance of relief. And look, yes, Ryan Pace is the guy that drafted him, so it's on his resume. But look, Matt Nagy is a offensive guru, a quarterback's coach who was not able to get Trubisky good. So it goes on his resume too. And so part of it, like as much as everybody thought, oh, he just wants to put Foles in, he wants Foles in, it would have been better for Matt Nagy's life too if Trubisky had succeeded, which he simply did not.
Mark, how much did your ears perk up when you heard Allan Robinson's response that he hadn't talked to Mitch since he'd been?
Yeah, I got to tell you, just like going in full context of that. And yeah, I actually put that tweet out there, and it got a lot of attention, a lot more than I thought. It's funny, like the tweets that get attention that you're not sure. When he said, I was surprised just because I perceive them as being very close. Always have, and he's also always been Mitch's number one supporter. So while I was surprised that they hadn't talked or he didn't have a better answer for that, I don't take it as some sort of bad blood between the two or Allen. I mean, maybe there's something going on, but I didn't take it that way. I took him at his word that it's just been a whirlwind and he hasn't gotten around to it. And maybe that's just a difficult conversation that Allan Robinson wasn't wanting to have. So, yeah, I'm surprised, but I don't know that there was an issue or unless there's something going on that I don't know about.
I heard that, and then when Coach Furry came out and made the comment about the back shoulder throw, when he's talking about the one to Juice to Javon Wims, I was like, wow, it seemed like I was even surprised with that because actually Kevin Fishbane mentioned that maybe Furry could have handled it maybe a little bit lighter, just a little bit. It seemed like maybe he was piling on, but at the same time, there's so much truth to that because we haven't seen that. When you're watching the game and you see that play develop, you're like, at first glance, you're like, oh, that he misfired on that one. But then when you get to all 22 and you're really breaking it down, you're like, no, that was the fucking back shoulder. That was there to be made. And Javon Wims, they said when he came onto the sideline, said, man, I feel like I'm in college again with that. We're going to be doing that. And I said, this is the NFL.
That's a smoking gun right there. I didn't even hear this.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, so it's funny. Like when I go on these Zoom calls, and after I'm done, I go on the air at the Score, and I gotta sift through all the hours of tape and pick out maybe 2 or 3 cuts. Yeah. And that was one. And usually I don't use the assistants because nobody knows them. You know what I mean? Right, like sure. we all do. I know you guys are very well aware of who the Bears assistants are, but for the most part, they don't resonate with the public. But Mike Furry, when he said that, I was like, all right, guys, when I went on the afternoon show, I'm going to play you one Nagy cut, but you got to hear this Furry cut because it says everything. He talks about, okay, guys, get ready for downfield passing. And, the Javon Wims comment, like, holy cow, look at this, downfield passing. And Furry saying, get used to it, boys. So he was speaking the truth. But, that cut stood out to me, too, over just about everything else I heard that day.
And he even put the time frame 2 to 3 years in there. We haven't seen those throws. And I mean, who else? You see who he's talking about.
There's nowhere to hide.
Right? Well, I mean,
I didn't hear this comment.
Well,
he's got to start cutting these clips.
Yeah, man, come on, get on it. That was the cut of the week. Look, these position coaches are extremely territorial. All they care about is their guys in their group. So, he doesn't care about the quarterback's room. He doesn't care about the tight ends room. He cares about his Javon Wims and Allan Robinson and Anthony Miller and Darnell Mooney. That's who he cares about, and that's who they go to bat for. And so he obviously saw them at a handicap at times, having the quarterback that was in, and now maybe some of his guys in his room will thrive because of the quarterback that exists now.
Mark, do you think sorry, Phil, I just wanted to get this in there. Do you think that we'll see a guy like Ridley get in there now with Nick Foles? Because Nick Foles actually mentioned him a little bit. Mentioned him a little bit, being, some of the reps and I don't want to say preseason, but in camp. And do you think that I'm just surprised that he can't get any burn at all on a struggling offense.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this first. I talked to Ridley. He really hasn't talked on Zoom to the media. I did have a chance to talk to him over the telephone last week, and
Nice.
he said that he kind of gave the good soldier answer. He said that he was told to trust the process, to stay patient, to be ready. He said that, speaking of Mike Furry, the wide receivers coach, Furry he said he coaches them like he's going to be in every single game. So he doesn't sound yet that he's overly frustrated. He did say that he knows what his skill level is and he knows what he can do. But to answer the question, is he going to get in? I don't see how he gets in at this point. I mean, who else are you going to sit at this point? I mean, Darnell Mooney, that little surprise party that's been going on with him, not only getting in, but being a key part of things.
Yeah.
Maybe he and Ted Ginn, but it's clear that they want those speed guys in. Ginn brings you the speed, if not consistency. Yep. Darnell Mooney brings you the speed. And then you have repetition with Allan Robinson, Javon Wims, and Ridley, all the same types of players.
Sure.
So you can, at this point, I love Ridley too. I want to see what he can do. That's why I called him. That's why I wanted to talk to him to see how he's doing. But I actually get why he's not playing, because I don't know what the alternative is at this point.
It's a great dilemma to have.
I guess.
You have that, because we haven't had that at the receiver position. Shane always talks about the time where we had Marcus Robinson. He was our guy. Curtis Conway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Conway and Graham was a great duo. But
getting
back to this, do you think, I saw one of my buddies here ask this question, and it's on my list. Do you think Coach Nagy's play calling now is going to be different coming in with Nick Foles as opposed to Mitch Trubisky?
Of course. Yes. I mean, yeah. Well, we already saw it. I mean, and some of it is going to be Matt Nagy allowing Nick Foles to improvise, as their words, ad lib.
Yes.
It's a different, we're talking about a different operation here. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're going to see downfield passes on every play and they're just going to march down the field and we're going to see this Kansas City delight all of a sudden. I don't know that that's going to happen, but yeah, of course. I mean, look, they've been saying it. They've been pretty transparent about it throughout Mitch's time. They said, look, after we go through a training camp, we pare down the playbook and then we find out what he is comfortable with, what he's not comfortable with. And my guess is that Nick Foles is very comfortable with a lot more of the plays that Matt Nagy has put out there than Mitchell Trubisky was comfortable. So, yeah, the short answer is absolutely yes. You will see more of the Matt Nagy playbook for sure, I think. And I think you'll see it right away starting this Sunday.
How big is the interior of this offensive line then? The improvement has had an impact on this football team.
I mean, you guys see it. They're successfully running the football, and it's not just like a series here or a series there. It's relatively consistent. I mean, we're not talking about 200 yards a game or 100. Even I don't even think they've had a 100-yard rusher yet through 3 games. However, you're seeing actual holes open up, and you're seeing David Montgomery, Cordero Patterson, Tariq Cohen, when he's healthy, hit the holes and run forward. You're not seeing as much as swinging the ball out, which I liked Tariq Cohen doing, to use his speed, to use the outside, but he actually was looking very successful running between the tackles. So I'll give some credit to another assistant, Juan Castillo, who so far so good. 3 games, so far so good. And everybody loved Harry Hiestand. And now everybody loves Juan Castillo, but with Castillo, you can see from a media and fan perspective, you could see actual progress with the run game.
Mark, who's going to be the punt returner? That's one thing that I am hoping they're not going to put Anthony Miller back there with these shoulders. I mean, we saw it last year. I just don't think it's myself. I'm hoping they're going to put a vet like a Ted Ginn back there that's got a history doing it. He's a savvy veteran that isn't going to, screw anything up too much. But do you have any insight on where do you think they're going to go there?
Anthony Miller has done it. He did it in the past. He was on punts. I think he was on kickoffs too for a while.
Yeah, that's where he hurt his shoulder again last year.
Yes. And he was okay.
Yeah.
It never looked great with him back there. But the fact, and I know it was on the fly, obviously, this week, but that's where he practices. He does practice on special teams. So I think it's possible. I like the Ted Ginn idea. One of my colleagues, and I wish I could give proper credit because this was not my idea, but I love it, is the idea of, I'm curious what you guys think, Eddie Jackson, who did it in college. And we all, I know it's a risk.
I like it, but I myself, I couldn't do it.
Just
I
the
couldn't do
injury
it.
factor.
You can do it in critical playoff situation. You know what I'm saying? You put that kind of playmaker to try to flop the field. But, you're going up against the Colts week 4, and that's just playing fools.
He's already got a rod in his leg. I mean, you just saw what happened to Tariq. I'm not going to put him.
I wonder. Here's another possibility, and I agree with you. I mean, it's that you're taking a big risk, even though he'd probably be really good at it. What about Cordero? What about Cordero Patterson?
I don't understand why not.
Yeah,
that's his role.
Would shock me.
I 235, 40-pound punt returner.
Not going to be too many guys that want to run into that.
You want to run into that? I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. Obviously, like Tom Papalardo saying, Ted Ginn has a history of this. He's got that speed. I'd rather have Ginn or Patterson, to your point there. If I was coaching this football team, that would be my move. It would be either of those two. I just think with the shoulders, like Shane said, and the inconsistencies with Anthony Miller, he's got to worry about his offensive routes and all that. Now we're going to put more on his plate. I don't like that move. But again, they have not hired me yet, Mark, to make these decisions because I will take home a ring if I was given that. We lost him again. I don't know if it's a connection thing, but
I don't know.
The reality, he's coming back.
And there he is.
I am again. I'll put the good word in for you with Chris Tabor. I'm in good with Tabor. Maybe
Eddie Jackson beat down his door and killed his connection. He's like, I'm not returning punts.
Down.
Let me ask you this. You have an vantage point that nobody here has. So if there's one guy minus Khalil Mack that you or Anakeem Hicks that you're just like, wow, this guy is something special and people are going to see that. I know it's early, but is there somebody on this football team that you're like, this kid is something special?
I mean, I think the answer through 3 weeks to that would probably be Jaylen Johnson, the second round rookie. He has been really good for the most part. Yeah. And he is, I'm sure you guys have heard some of his comments and some of his Zooms. He's a very confident kid. He doesn't like, nothing's too big for him. And I talked to Buster Screen, and look, Buster Screen's been around this is his 10th year in the league now. And Buster Screen has been around a lot of cornerbacks and defensive backs, and he's told me this kid is special. And he said, I asked him, well, how do you know that? He said, well, he comports himself on the field and off the field as if he's been playing in the league for 3 or 4 years already. And he said there's something to that. He also said that one of the most important parts of being a cornerback is to accept failure, because you're going to get burned in a game at some point in time. It's going to happen. We've seen it with Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller is an all-pro, but we see Kyle Fuller get burned. So, and he says that he has the ability to compartmentalize and put it away. And I believe him when he says that about him. Because a lot of guys, you'll say, oh, you got to forget about it. You got to, move on.
Right.
But there's a lot of guys who don't pull that off. And it seems like Jaylen Johnson can. I don't want to get carried away because we're 3 games in. But if you asked the question, my answer would be Jaylen Johnson.
It's a great answer. Shane?
No, I absolutely love the kid, but I want to take this just in a different direction. This is probably going to bore a lot of people in the chat room, but we got to talk field goal kickers, because you can't talk Chicago Bears and not talk field goal kickers. How close are we to seeing Eddie Pinero come back? I know they said not yet, but Santos, you can't be missing these kicks in controlled environments. And what they said, he's 6 for 17, I think, from 40 plus. since 2017. That's a big time issue right there.
Yeah, and Carlos Santos, he had a chance to steal that job too. If he
totally agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
Yeah, I think that nobody was saying that, but I think we all kind of knew, like, look, if this guy comes in and they obviously like him, his second go around with the organization, if he had been better, it could have made Eddie Pinero obsolete, because while I love Eddie Pinero as a sideline guy, that's who I hang around near, is the special teams guys usually. So I love Eddie. I think he's got a big foot, but he's been hurt a lot. He's been hurt for a kicker. He's been hurt a lot. So I think Pinero will be back. Yeah, we got a very ambiguous answer today from Matt Nagy when the question was asked about him, that he's not quite ready yet, but that could change tomorrow. Maybe we find out tomorrow that they're reinstating him and that he is back. And I don't know what happens to Carlos Santos, if he practice squad him or if you're allowed to have two kickers, so they probably will hang around.
I think you have to. I mean, with an injury like that, I mean, to me,
absolutely,
that would be the smartest.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, to answer the question straight up, I do think Pinero will be back this week. 50-50, but he'll be back.
Let me ask you this. Claudio, the barber, the moderator, let me bring him in. He had a question for you about Mitch Trubisky. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Claudio, how are you, man?
Good. So you touched on, you're going to be looking at Mitchell's demeanor in the next game, but I was looking at the tape in the game. I was trying to find him on the sideline. Like, how was he after he got benched and the rest of the game? And then when, we won at the end, like, was he showing, excitement about it? Was he just down and out? Like, what was he doing?
So, unfortunately, man, I can't give a great answer to that because of COVID and the restrictions, I am not traveling with the team. I don't go to the road venues. So, unfortunately, it's a great question. I was only able to see what you guys saw on television.
Did you hear anything? Because we heard about, like, Khalil Mack was like soling them and and stuff like that. Did you hear any other stuff that maybe didn't get reported?
I did hear things, and they said exactly what you would expect them to say. They said yes, like today. Foles said and Matt Nagy said that he was great and that he was supportive and that he was right there. Is that true? I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, human nature would say that there had to have been a hell of a lot on Trubisky's mind at that moment. I mean, that's his career flashing before him. It's not just some random, we're taking you out for a series. Like, that's his life right there. So if he...
Oh, there he goes.
Right on cue.
That Chicago connection. The Score's got to upgrade.
Eddie Jackson's kicking the shit out of this guy.
The Score's got to upgrade his
he didn't have an issue.
Connection.
Yeah. Well,
he's coming
he's coming back on another one here. Different.
He's got a different one. There he is.
Back again. Back again.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, Shady's back.
Back again.
I want that for my intro song next time.
Next time. I'm changing your song.
Yeah,
now.
get rid of the Rick Astley.
But
no, it's a really good question, and I think that they're all saying that he was engaged, but I can't, like, I put myself in that spot. I would have just been like, my head would have been off in space somewhere at that moment. So
to me, in post game, he looked like he saw a ghost. I mean, he just, and I don't blame him. I mean, I totally get it, but it's.
I mean, think about it. Your pride has just been demolished.
Yes.
Your team, your peers. I always say that's why it was so surprising. It leads me to my next question to you. For me, as a coach, I was so shocked to hear that Matt Nagy had, for the first time, they watched film together. And he was surprised when he was calling out players that the players actually liked that. So they're going to continue to do that. To me, that was shocking for me to hear that. Like, that doesn't happen already when it should, because those are the best teachable moments. Was it a shock for you when you heard that from Nagy?
I guess so. No, actually, it wasn't, because he doesn't usually share the interworkings of the specifics of calling guys out. I think maybe I was more surprised that he shared that with us. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that you have to treat athletes a certain way. Like, if you want to be a player's coach and you want to have that coach on your side, because that's his livelihood too. You got, like, if the players don't like the coach, then the coach is going to get, that's not going to work out. So if Nagy kind of was kid gloves for a while and didn't want to call guys out in his first couple of years, then I guess I get that. Yeah, like I said, I'm more surprised that he actually would share that with us. But yeah, no, I think it's good. And, I think that guys like Allan Robinson, specifically, a veteran on that team who you can tell wants to be great individually, but you could also tell, and this isn't the case with every player, you can tell he wants to win. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell he's pissed off when the Bears don't win games. So being held accountable and not having to be the one to hold everybody accountable, like in Allan Robinson's case, it's got to be a bit of a relief for him too.
Absolutely.
Mark, one of the guys that I really talked about quite a bit and was hoping to see him become who we all want him to be on defense is number 58, Roquan Smith. While he's steady, to me, he's got to be the guy. He's got to be a cornerstone and a building block to this defense that's making splash plays, just not giving you the 7 to 10 tackles a game. We haven't seen a lot of that. Are you? I don't want to put you on the spot and say disappointed, but were you expecting maybe a bigger jump so far from Roquan this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because he was talking about it the entire offseason. Anytime we talked to him, he pretty much offered up that he had a chip on his shoulder and that he was going to show everybody and he was going to be great this year. And you're right. No, he hasn't been special, and he should be expected to go to the next level considering where he was drafted, considering the talk that he put out there. The fact that he's trying to grow into he's the guy who is out there more than Danny Trevathan now, obviously. So yeah, I mean, especially relative to what he did in 2018, and that I thought based on what he did in 2018, I thought he was on his way to being a star. And then last year, while he ended up having really good numbers, we all watched, and there wasn't the special, the splash, what there was in his rookie year. So yeah, still plenty of time for Roquan, but yeah, he's definitely needs to step it up another level to be what he is supposed to be.
When I look at the tape, one thing that has shown out for me, Mark, has been I don't even know how to say, the 180 improvement from James Daniels. Have you seen this young man? Have you been able to talk to him? Because on tape, this guy is destroying people. He is physically playing to the whistle. It is like Juan Castillo unlocked this filthy animal, and it's so exciting for me, who is so harsh on the offensive line play because it's so important. James Daniels, for the first quarter of this season, is the huge story here. Hopefully you can talk to him.
I agree. And it's funny. He's one guy that I don't think has been made available to us yet via Zoom, and I have not had any interactions with him one-on-one yet. Maybe this week it'll happen, but I agree. And usually it is in that third year where players start to show you who they are. And James Daniels, again, this is not like some undrafted later round guy. This is a second round pick. This is a guy that you moved up in the second round to get. One of the more talented offensive linemen in the country. So it's not shocking to me. Like the crazy part about him is he's only 22 years old, this kid. I mean, that's crazy. Like it's like
Joe Burrow's going to be 24 in December. Think about that.
that is wild, man. That really is. That is. Artavis Pierce is 24.
Yeah.
Like the guy that they just brought off the running back. But yeah, no, I'm seeing it with James Daniels. I mean, there was clearly an off-season commitment that James Daniels followed, and then maybe Juan Castillo has gotten him to the next level. But this is a talented, raw material guy who is now showing the talent in earnest. And I also think that maybe finally, since there's no question about where he's going to play, like the question of maybe he's still a center, and some people still think he's going to be a center at some point in time, but I don't think there was any screwing around with that this year. It was Cody Whitehair the center, James Daniel the guard, be great, and that's what he's been through 3 games. He's mauling guys.
If you want to see the ascension of James Daniels, go to the last first down run by David Montgomery versus Atlanta when he kind of sealed the game.
It's on the
you
tape
watch,
never lies.
Yeah, you go.
Oh yeah.
It's
you
Phil
watch.
Ottochian. It's Coach
He wanted to
Ottochian.
He wanted to fold the guy in half, and he did. He took him right down to the ground. But no, I love to see that aggression. But going back to the linebackers, Mark, we got to talk about number 59, Danny Trevathan. I mean, it's actually been really tough for me to watch. I'm a big Danny Trevathan guy. We had Josh Woods on a few weeks ago and asked him about, who the team leader is. And I didn't even have those words out of my mouth. And he's like, Danny T. No doubt about it. He's the leader of this entire team, Danny T. And he hasn't just been a shell of him former self. I mean, Olin Kreutz brought up on the pregame on Sunday. He goes, I'm seeing the same things of when I called out Kyle Long and told him that he needs to retire. Olin Kreutz made that comment on the radio on Sunday. And I mean, those are big words, and Olin, he's not just putting that out there to get headlines. He's going to speak his truth. But I mean, it's Ryan Pace also extended this guy, in the offseason. So it's a really big deal. I think that there was some minor improvement in Atlanta, but how big of a wild card is this going to be moving forward for Chicago?
Yeah, and they chose him too over Nick Kwiatkowski, and I think that there was a trickle down effect too, where then all of a sudden
Pierre Louis.
Yeah,
I wanted Kevin Pierre Louis.
They couldn't afford. Yeah, no, I mean, I think depth, and Josh Woods is your guy and all that. I love Josh Woods too, but the depth on the inside line. It's not like you have somebody in the waiting for Danny. Right. We're like, oh, let's give Josh Woods a try. Let's see what Joel Iyiegbuniwe's got. It's like, I don't know. Maybe if we saw those guys go full force, maybe they would be like Kevin Pierre Louis and what Nick Kwiatkowski was last year. Who knows? And I was fully supporting the choosing of Danny Trevathan over Nick Kwiatkowski. I will admit. People say, why would they do that? I said, because Danny Trevathan is a better player, because he is fast. Nick Kwiatkowski, solid NFL pro, who's going to have a job for a long time in the NFL because he knows how to be in the right spot. But Danny Trevathan is better. I don't know what's going on this year, honestly. Like we all take a step back or lose a step at some point in time. I don't know if that's where Danny Trevathan is at this point. Are we going to find out about some sort of injury that he's been dealing with? Is he not in good shape? I don't have the answer right now. And Danny Trevathan just kind of saying, I know I got to be better, and everybody is saying he's got to be better, but nobody's really said what's going on or why is it chronic or is it just a slump?
Just to double down on that, you talk about being in shape. This is something that Phil and I have talked about. Matt Nagy came out and said publicly that Roquan Smith is in the best shape of his career. Now, when Phil and I watch him, it certainly doesn't seem that way, that he's in the best shape of his career.
He was in great shape on the stripper boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't look like he was in great shape. There was a picture of him pregame in Chicago, when they opened the second game there against the Giants, and he just doesn't look like he's,
doesn't look like an
Khalil
NFL
Mack
linebacker,
shape.
right? Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't look like he's in Khalil Mack shape.
Yeah, I don't know that he ever has been like that. He's not like some Adonis, like sculpted body guy, even when he got here a couple of years ago. So I don't know that was ever his thing. However, I don't know. I don't know what it means anymore, because you're right. Matt Nagy did say that he's in the best shape of his life, and Pagano might have said the same thing. I don't know what that means anymore. What is that? Does it mean that he is doing, that he's faster time wise, that he's
right,
and
he's only 23, so he's still very young.
Yeah, he's not as tired on the sideline. I don't know what that means when they say he's in the best shape of his life. I mean, there's things that they see that we don't see. So I don't know how to quantify that or qualify that at this point, like what it means. But I do think that it's time for Roquan Smith to really week in and week out make some dominant plays and be better in coverage too.
Mark is a great guy. Mark Grote is the sideline reporter for your Chicago Bears. He does an amazing job there. I don't blow smoke. I would be hard on Grote. We've become very good friends too, keeping it 100 on this show. I love Mark. Mark, obviously, right at the bottom. You can follow him if you're not already on Twitter and be up to date with what he has to say. I don't want to take up too much of your time here. I do want to be able to allow 1 or 2 questions from the chat, Claudio, but I have one last question. Shane, if you have one last question, then 1 question from the chat. So we'll do 3 questions, and then I have a favor, and then we'll let you go.
Oh my God, I'm already worried.
I'm gonna put you on the. I'm putting you on the spot. You got to give us
singing.
the station ID. You don't have to sing.
Okay, station ID I can do. Okay.
This is Mark Grote. You're listening to my boys Shane and Phil on the Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies. Okay, want me to do that right now?
Tape Never Lies Network. You want to do
Okay.
Let's start with the station ID. That'll be fun. Let me put
Okay.
you by yourself.
Okay.
I'm producing over here. Look.
All right.
And then I'm gonna put your name underneath you. Your lower third, they say in the business.
Boom.
Please take the banner down. There we go. There we go. And I'll count you down. All right. Tell me when you're ready.
All right. So I just want to make sure I got it right here. Shane and Phil on the Tape Never Lies radio, or just Tape Never Lies Network.
That's it.
Beautiful. I'm ready. Count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's going on? It's Mark Grote, Chicago Bears sideline reporter, and you are listening to Shane and Phil on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Boom.
Beautiful.
One take,
Dude,
MT.
does this guy one take? It took
That's it.
Akeem Hicks 8 takes.
Really?
Yes.
He's way better than I am.
I don't think so. You're a professional.
Yeah,
Mark.
that's
Where
true.
did you go to college?
I went to Illinois State. Don't hold that against me.
Oh my God! I got injured against Illinois State. I took a headshot on a punt
Really?
return.
Oh, wasn't even playing.
Where'd you play?
I played at Hofstra.
Did
the
you really?
Flying Dutchman.
Oh,
I'm gonna
my
wear
God.
my Hofstra football T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Next time you come on.
That's awesome.
And
Okay.
I'll have a new intro for you. I'll get rid of the Rick Astley.
Yeah, give me some of that.
He was a much shorter, much slower Wayne Corbett.
I was. I don't know. Yeah, I was slower. Wayne beat me in the 40 yards. I
Wow.
did beat Wayne Corbett. This is my claim to fame real quick. I did beat him in catching competitions continuously with the jugs machine.
Oh, I bet you did.
We used to do this drill, the fucking, the high, what do they call them? Notre Dame, one of the, they died. A videographer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the scaffolding. Coaches would put the scaffolding and they'd
Yeah.
go up there with a bag of footballs and throw them down at us, laying on the ground. So we'd have to catch them.
Damn.
And I would always win that competition. Wayne
Wow.
would get so pissed. Anyway.
That's hardcore, man.
Yeah, you know how it is.
I do.
I got
Yeah, I've
a
been there.
question from the
There
the
you go,
fans
Clyde.
here.
I
There
like
you
how
go.
you look at
You
this
like that?
guy. He's our
Yeah.
new moderator.
I'm learning from Mark. Mark, you're a professional. I look. Learning from you. So there you
Hold
go.
on, I'm going to remove me and Shane and give you the stage with.
All right, so Swanky32 wants to know that, when Nick Foles under center, should we see the RPO in our offense against the Colts this week?
Oh, yeah. I think you will. I mean, that's part of the, I don't know if it's classic improvising or ad-libbing, but yeah, I do think that is one of the things that you will see more implemented. I mean, it's been implemented, obviously, with Mitchell Trubisky, and I think it will be to a higher degree with Nick Foles. So my answer to that would be yes.
All right, awesome.
Professional.
Yeah, there wasn't much other questions. I was looking, but people
All
weren't
right.
putting too many questions. So there you go, Swanky.
Well-
we got you on there.
Shane, do you have a last question for Mark?
No, I think he answered it all, man. He
hit it
brought
out
it
of the
tonight.
park. He always
Absolutely.
does.
Woo.
He always
Thank God.
does. My last question before you leave.
Yes.
Not only that, I love you, bro. I really appreciate you coming on the Keepin It 100 show. We're keeping it 100. You always keep it 100. That's why I really
100, baby.
Yeah. Real quick, how good is David Montgomery?
I don't know, but like last year, I didn't know if he was good or bad last year, just because at least I can tell you now, I do think he's good. That was a question I couldn't answer last year. Do I think he has the ability? I think he's got the skill set to be great, but he's not there yet. But there's a couple things. Well, the one thing that stands out mostly about him is that drive, the ability to not go down, and not just not just not go down, but get more yards and break tackles, and we're starting to see that. I want to see him be a more consistent part of the passing game before I start to say, are you at the next level? Are you a complete running back? He's got it all. But right now I put him at level good, not great.
Look at you.
Yeah, level good.
You've said it all. You've done it all.
There's nothing left to say. You know?
I'm going to get you new swag out there. We got a swag team. Thank God you texted me.
Yeah.
that would have been like, awkward.
Yeah, I had no idea there was a breakup of sorts. So,
no worries.
Okay, good. Yes,
anyway,
yes.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you for joining us on Keepin' It 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. God bless you, and be safe out there on Sunday.
I will.
There you go.
And he left.
He accidentally left, but he left on great terms. Mark Grote, great dude. Please follow him on Twitter. He's the sideline reporter for your Chicago Bears on their national broadcasts. So you hear him with Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer. Follow him there. Let him know you heard him with Shane and Phil and Claudio on Keepin' It 100. Just great guest, great person. So I am in the other ballpark. I can't hear Claudio.
I said great questions by you guys, for real. You know, you got a lot of info out there, and that was a good job by you guys. Like it's like you know what you're doing. It's like you know what you're doing.
Claudio coming with compliments. We're not used to that, Shane.
Well, I want to keep my job.
I don't agree with Mark on David. I
think you're going to see him be even more productive once this passing game gets cranked up, and we're going to see some of these deeper passes that are connected.
Play,
and that's
man,
help.
That I put up on the Tape Never Lies when the defensive end has a free run on him. I don't think you realize that's 200 and something pounds, 200, we'll say 258, running full speed to hit you from the side. And he fucking bounces off David Montgomery, and he continues to truck another dude down to the 2-3 yard. I think big things are coming. I said it to Claudio. This might be a little blessing in disguise. I hate injuries. I don't want to see anyone there. But I think the David Montgomery show I don't know why Matt Nagy has some crazy personnel usage.
Carries every game.
It's like, with the Tariq Cohen injury, he's almost going to be forced to use David Montgomery a lot more. That's what I hope. That's what the tape tells me. What else tells me, Claudio?
Yeah.
We got a nerd alert.
Yeah, our boy.
We got a nerd alert. Nerd alert for those of you listening on the podcast. That means
Chubbs is running. Chubbs just started running.
That means our guy is coming on to talk a little. He brings the little statistical to my tape. Oh, yeah. Cars Keys. Mr. Karstensen.
The only keys we care about, right, Phil?
Look at him. If you're not following him up at Bears Nerd, and he also has a website, right?
Absolutely, which is also Bears Nerd. I'm not anything if not simple, right? Let's keep it easy for everybody to remember.
That's KISS. Keep it
all
simple.
That's right. That's right.
Let's see if I can do the magic again. Every time Cars comes on the show, let me see if I have it right here. I think I have.
Guys, this is technology in action.
No, I didn't. I messed. Now I got it.
Can you go to lower third school? I love your show, but you need to
Cars,
go.
I can't find a way to please everybody. My father told me this, but I always believed, no, I could do it. As I get older, I can't.
God, no. Like, there's just not the energy level as we get older to please, like, half the people that live in this house. So
as long as I please my wife, that's all that matters.
That's a quote right there in and of itself.
I think I do that. She's still with me at least, so that's the best.
Shout out to the wives that put up with a whole lot of bullshit. Yeah, that's
Yes,
for sure.
Put up with us, and we're moving forward here. We have Mark Grote on. Did you catch the interview?
I caught the end of it. Yeah, it was. I'm glad Mark came dressed up for the occasion. It was really nice to see.
You ever see that commercial? You ever see that commercial with the guy at the?
Yeah,
I forget what it's for. Remember, he's at a blind date and he's.
And it's no. I mean, it's funny. You guys called him out a while ago, and he's been.
You guys. I got put on the firing line.
I'm
for that
sorry,
one.
everyone. Let's give Shayne attention here.
That's right. I got thrown under the fucking bus. I need the attention for that one.
But no, he's great, right? A lot of the Chicago radio guys are not so great and they're a little full of themselves, and he's one of the ones that's really down to earth.
Calling out Lawrence Holmes like that, Cars.
Oh Jesus.
I don't know why.
Like, you just don't want to be liked by anybody some days, it feels like. Yeah.
We're trying to get Lawrence Holmes to come on the show here, and we want to bury the hatchet. So if
the only person he hates more than me is Phil, so it's going to be a perfect fit.
Maybe I can come on.
Picture the flames coming through the internet on that one. That's for sure.
These seem like predictable run plays.
Shut up, Glenn.
Are we going to see Glenn? Are we going to see predictable run plays, or are we going to see a more open offense? I know you have been a big believer in this move happening. I credited you on the Tape Never Lies today that was released. If you haven't seen it, on Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky, and the Bears, I give you a bunch of, hidden nuggets in there. Hopefully you see him. But Nick Foles is the Bears quarterback. The coach spoke it, put his hand down to Stacey Dales. This isn't for one game. This is our guy moving forward. You and Shayne were on that to begin with. Speak on it. What do you think moving forward?
So, I mean, that's I take full credit, Chubbs, just so you know, full credit. No, I think there's been a lot of concerns about play calls, and I think we saw actually, minus a few like the screen to Demetrius Harris, overall a really good game plan. And one of the biggest things that we've always been texting back and forth are like, what the fuck is with all the curls and the outs? And when that went away, when Mitch went away, we saw we saw a lot more posts and slants and deeper routes that were going. And that I think is going to be really important. But I think one of the plays that you showed in the Tape Never Lies, that was actually a Mitch play, right? The RPO. We're going to see probably a heavy return of that RPO. It's just as simple. So I think, honestly, Matt Nagy's a fantastic head coach, right? Like, to be 8-8 after last year, to be where he is. I think there's a lot of questions about where he is as an offensive coordinator. I think to a degree it puts to rest the question of what was holding back the offense. And I think we start to see that now. So now we will see, we'll actually see really what offensive scheme he wants to run. I think we saw it early in 2018 before everything went off the rails, midway through. And I think we'll just see where that goes. So I think I'm excited to see it, because now we learn a lot more about the play caller and not necessarily just the head coach.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think this game versus the Colts more so than anything, because there is conspiracy out there based on the score and the situation that Foles came in. Of course you're going to be throwing. Of course you're going to be throwing.
Absolutely.
So now 0-0, you're at home. Nick Foles is the guy moving forward. You got Jimmy Graham. I didn't get to see what Jimmy Graham said post-game, but Shayne said there was a fucking twinkle in his eye, like he's excited.
Yeah, he was giddy.
He was. He was.
I mean, he basically, like, the line that stuck out was he's like, we get in the huddle and Foles calls a play, and I go, do we have that play? Like, right. He knew exactly what it meant, but they hadn't run it and practiced it. So, I mean, yeah, he's one I think that will definitely get uncorked a little bit more. as this goes on. So I think you kind of saw it today with Allan Robinson's interview. You kind of see it in a couple different ways. They're excited about where this is going. It's not that they didn't like Mitch at all. The frustrations were there. I think they were evident for a while, and now they're excited to give it a shot and try something new. So should be fun. And I think your earlier point, Montgomery stands the most to benefit from all of this because the crutch of Cohen is gone. Who I think is a fun gadget player, but he has been really overused in a lot of different ways. And I think that means more for Montgomery. And I think that might even leave a chance for some more Riley Ridley, or I guess some Riley Ridley.
Cars, we brought up with Grote about the punt returner. Are you going to lose your shit if they put Anthony Miller back there like I am?
It makes no sense. It's inexcusable at this point. You've got a bunch of nickel cornerbacks, right, on your roster. Maybe you put a guy back there. I understand that you want to make a big play, but let's not lie. If you just get a guy back there who can figure out when to fair catch properly,
put Ginn back there.
The big difference. Ginn's another good play.
What about Mooney?
No.
I don't think
I want to risk them out there.
Risk that injury with. He's on a day. That kid is growing up right before our eyes.
On the coaches show, you heard Jeff Joniak asked Matt Nagy flat out, "When did you know that you had a player in Mooney? When did it click?" And he said it was the first time we saw him hit the field. He's like, he got on the field and we're like, "Whoa, we got something here." And I mean, the proof is in the pudding with how they're playing him. I mean, he's got the second most snaps behind Allan Robinson. So it says all you need to know. But to me, to get back to punt returner, I brought it up with Grote. Cars mentioned it here. Put the savvy vet back there that he's a guy that he's seen everything. He's not going to make a stupid play. He's going to know when to call for the fair catch. That part of it, it is what it is. Put him back there and let him do his thing. If they put Anthony Miller out there, I mean, like Carr said to me, that's coaching malpractice because he can be a vital part of this offense when
you
things
just don't
are
want
clicking.
him in that play where he gets blown up, right? Like I get it.
You saw it happen to Tariq Cohen.
You don't want him set up for that.
Plus, he's very thin, rail thin. He doesn't lack the toughness at all. So I know he could do it, but again, it goes back to what Grote and we were talking about with Eddie Jackson back there. You don't want to risk your starting safety, but if it's in a playoff moment where you need a big play, that's when you put somebody in that situation. Mooney, to me, you're already getting something there out of a fifth-round rookie receiver that is just growing up before. The play on the shallow cross with Nick Foles, and he throws it to him. To Tom, Dick, and Harry, that play means shit. To me, that means that, you know what he did? He caught the ball, turned straight up the field, and dove for 2 yards.
Yeah.
That's helping your football team. That's a fifth-round rookie knowing
Josh
that.
right there, getting low last week. Reminded Marvin Harrison. He's
got that.
Yeah.
He's got that. And
Joshy.
The other reason I don't want Miller back there is that's really your slot guy, right? Like him and
Ginn
Graham
or Patterson,
are your slot.
the veterans. It should be simple. They're going to throw
Someone
out
you can
Miller,
lose from the
and we're going to be talking about it on the best post-game show on the planet. It's Bears Hour Live after every.
It's the best Chicago Bears postgame show on the planet, bar none. It's Bears Hour Live immediately after each and every Bears game with host Shayne, the smartest man, and draft Dr. Phil Ottochian every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday immediately after Bears games. Your guys, draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw are live on Bears Hour Live. Subscribe to the show via the Tape Never Lies Network, which can be found on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch. It's the best Chicago Bears postgame show on the planet, Bears Hour Live.
Oh shit!
Oh shit is right. I mean, wow, what a weekend!
1,000 viewers less on Sunday.
Claudio stepping into producing over 1,049 viewers or something, or
And
went
we
up
are-
to 1,200 or 2,000 because of we don't get to see all the viewers, but our guy, our manager, the Beatle, one of the Beatles, I call him John Lennon, he told me we're upwards of 2,700 people viewing Bears Hour live, as in the title, this past Sunday. So we can't thank you guys enough. Are we at 5,000?
Not yet. We are right there. So if you are listening to this and you, for whatever ridiculous reason, have not subscribed, match that subscribe button on YouTube.
Go over there.
We have a chance to
subscribe
hit
to the YouTube.
5,000 subscribers while we're live on air tonight.
If we do, we got to do something special.
4.98.
I think that's an extra cut it out for Claudio if we hit. Right? Like,
we had Grote on. He goes, I'm not able to go to home games. And Claudio was like, I got a question. What was Mitch like on the sidelines? What was he like in the locker room?
You missed when he introed that. I'm like,
I know. I'm too busy looking at the comments. I can't listen and look at the comments.
Well, every week, speaking of comments, we do a special segment. We grade the past game. We go into the chapters and the stories. The Tape Never Lies is up. You could go over there. And we ask the fans. I don't know if they're delayed. It seems like they were delayed in comments. They're behind. I'm seeing them talking about Arturo Pierce and other stuff. So hopefully Claudio could keep you updated or some sort of fix is involved there. But we do this special thing called Bear Up, Bear Down. If you're a new listener, what happens here, the Bear Down is the dyslexic version. It's down. It's bad. And the Bear Up is the positive, the good player, the standout. And we always do it in the snake fantasy football draft type motion. So this week, I'm going to start myself with the Bear Down because last week I went first on the other way, and then we'll go to Cars, Claudio, Shayne, and back.
And I'll get it wrong again. It'll be perfect.
Hopefully
this
you guys get it right. You say, and he, blah, blah, is my Bear Down or Bear Up. Did I explain it enough? Here we go. Get hype, get bad, get up.
Philatosian, Shayne Marsaw, the Tape Never Lies Network.
A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up. This week, Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw, the smartest man. Bear ups and bear downs of the week.
Oh yeah, Bear Up, Bear Down. Every week we do this on Keepin It 100. Shy City Sports presents. You can see them in the upper corner. Go check out their message boards, their Facebook page, their YouTube channel, who simulcasts. Look at this. We simulcast this show from the Tape Never Lies Network and Shy City Sports because of you guys. And also, we're on a podcast stream, and I'll do that later. Let's get into this. My Bear Down this week is none other than the Walrus himself.
See this coming.
Tell all the mouth breathers that we know that those are seals.
Oh, those are seals. If you saw the intro, you would see.
Let's get physical. Sit up.
I'm gonna clip that and put that in our drops moving forward. If you didn't get to see the intro, Cars, It's really one of my best productions. Ask Claudio. There's a lot of laughs in it. Actually, you know what? We're going to play it on the way out of the show tonight, Shane. We're going to finish it off and put a stamp so cars can see it, and we can have some laughs at the Falcon fans and fanatics. And that guy in there with the Hulk Hogan goatee is
I'm all in.
Friend of mine, Mark Curcio from East Haven, Connecticut.
Great
I used to
dude.
go to his house, drive there to watch the games because he had DirecTV way back in the 90s, and we got to watch Steve Walsh play and come back against the Arizona Cardinals. Remember that game, Shane?
Boy. Steve, I try to push that entire
Steve
era out
Walsh.
of my brain.
He had a fucking playoff win against the
He
Vikings
did.
with
Vikings,
Raymond
right.
Harris. Anyway,
The ultra.
my bear down. Charles Leno, man. I can't make it up. I wish I had that comic whistle that I put on the tape never lies. When you see such an improvement on across the board, even with Bobby Massey, and believe me, he's not perfect, and you see a PFF fucking scorer saying that Charles Leno's doing a great job, then you know something's fucking wrong. Something is in life.
There's the PFF curse. Yeah. it's
Oh
the
my
PFF
God! It's like,
offensive lineman.
what are you doing? Don't do offensive line play, please, or check with me. Because that is just the dumbest shit. It is. Listen, he's gotten better. I see effort where last year I saw fucking pillow fighting. So I'll give him that. I keep it 100 on this show. But it's bad. And I think you got better on the bench. Either Bars, Spriggs, or Coward. One of them put his ass on the sideline, do the same thing you do with Mitch to Charles, and get him to fucking self-reflect and look in the mirror of what you are playing like, what you are. That's my opinion. So, Charles Leno is my bear down this week, Cars.
I'm still. Let me set for a minute and just. I can't believe that moment has finally happened after years of being a Leno homer. You have finally come to your senses.
Hey.
It's tough. The easy way out.
Hold on, I might send a hateful tweet to Jason Lock on Ford tonight too, Cars.
Oh, good.
We'll go
Yeah.
totally off script tonight.
Good. Hit him right between the eyes. Boy, it's really tough because I think there's an easy way out for this one that I don't really want to do. But I'm going to. Like the bear down is Mitch. I think just for me, it kind of brings to a close, and I don't know how. I get that you want to keep him as your backup, but if the offense changes a tremendous amount in 3 or 4 weeks, right up to the bye week,
right.
I don't know how you bring him back in as even the backup because you're gonna have to modify the scheme to go back, and I don't know like how. Remember the old belief of like why Baltimore kept Robert Griffin III as the backup to Lamar was because they were similar guys, and it's easier to do that. I feel really bad for him, right? Super nice guy, works hard, but I as I texted you guys, he's the C's get neuroscience degrees quarterback, and I just feel like I don't know what he adds to us right now as that backup position. So, Mitchell Trubisky is my bear down of the week.
Look at you. You did it. You did it. I know a lot of people are going to be upset with you, so I'm going to
fine.
Yeah, but I see it. I see what you're serving there at the Greek diner, and I get it. I mean, the stage is set. You go down to Atlanta. You're on the road. I honestly think I really covered it fairly on the tape Never Lies, and showed you exactly why I didn't cherry pick. At some point, you can't miss those open receivers, and enough was enough for the coaching staff. I mean, Mark Grote right there, Shane on top of it, and you on top. I can't think of a happier place than I am now. Football season, I know there's a pandemic, but I'm with my guys. We're producing. We got all these people in the chat, fans of the show, and we just continue to grow and do us in a positive way. I mean, nothing.
Offense number 72.
Oh, shit.
10 yard.
That's the only thing that can get me down right now.
Well, that's a perfect
You only have
segue.
a few more days to wait.
Claudio.
I was gonna ask, does it have to be a player? Because can we just say how horrible
you can
the
cheat
refs,
it.
the refs,
Yeah,
not just Boger,
Look at
the
you.
refs. I mean, another rough in the passer bullshit call. Another Allan Robinson catch interception bullshit call. How does that happen? I mean, so I don't know. You said Boger's from Atlanta. If he's
Claudio deserves a beat for this.
Yes, he does.
So I mean, we gotta hate on the ref for this game. They have a tough job most of the time, but come on. I mean, like I said, I think Phil, you said it in Tape Never Lies. They gotta get fined for some of
They
these
should
bad calls.
get fined.
Because
I mean,
you know what I mean. It's just out of control. You could be
it was
changing people's
atrocious.
lives, games, everything. So that's
was
it. So I bear
atrocious.
down is the whole Zebra crew, all of them, not just Boger, all of them. Whatever else their names
Did
are.
you see the one where I show you James Daniels, Pancakes 97, and then 97 gets up,
pushes him
and
down,
shoves him down right in front of the
ref,
official,
yeah.
both of them, and he turns his head and refuses to call it, and then the scrum broke out on the other side, and there's no flags, but God forbid the Bears do something like that. That's all I gotta say on it. But great bear down, Claudio.
Perfect.
We move on to our guy, the smartest man, Shayne Marsaw from upstate New York, the original upstate. Who's your bear down?
Overstate, whatever state. I changed directions here a little bit because I was gonna go with number 39. I thought he played one of the worst games that I'd seen in a while. Eddie Jackson, and you can't have that. But I'm gonna go off course a little bit here because this guy had a big touchdown to end the game. But Anthony Miller, I cannot see these fucking drops in the fucking end zone if you're gonna be who your mouth says that you are every time that you talk. You cannot drop these fucking balls. You cannot do it. Because quite honestly, if you're gonna continue to do it, you gotta give the kid that's rotting away, Riley Ridley, a shot to earn some fucking playing time here. I love Anthony Miller. I love his attitude. I love his swag. I love his game. But these mental lapses, let's be honest. I jumped out of my chair when I'm like, oh, touchdown. And then I saw him like, oh shit, you see it? You see his face? He immediately started running off the field. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then they're reviewing it and I'm like, oh shit, that hit the turf. And if you want to be a big time wide receiver, a guy that's going to take that next step, you can't. That's pitch and catch. Cars, you know it, man. It's there. And that was a fucking money ball from your quarterback that delivered it there. And you can't drop those. Those are the types of drops that you get midway through the season or towards the end of the season. They can kill your playoff hopes. So Anthony Miller, you have all the talent in the world. You have everything that I want in a wide receiver. Just be more consistent with it. Don't drop these touchdowns, especially. So you're my bear down. You redeemed yourself, but I need you to be more consistent. Anthony.
Who's your bear up?
Phil
Put it in the chat.
Shayne Marsaw.
We want to know.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
That's really what I'm doing.
A bear down.
A bear down.
The following.
Oh, there we go. I almost did it perfect.
If you need some help in post process, we've got some guys that could give you a hand.
Someone's gonna complain about that.
Right.
Anyway, we're free. We're having fun. We're having on Netflix. Actually, speaking of that, when we go patronage, I actually did some math, Cars.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to be proud of me.
And it took him 7 minutes to figure this out, by the way.
Oh, Jesus.
So let me think about this. So we get 4 shows a month for $7. That's $1 something a show. But not.
And that was the math, and 7 minutes is $1 something.
You can't, Phil.
No, it was $1.25. It was $1.75.
75.
But then
Jesus.
you get extra Bears.
Claudio, can you put that in your cut it out segment?
The tape never lies. You're going to get the full tape never lies. You're going to get extra shows. You're going to get Zoom calls. You're going to get private talks and conversations with the crew, including Shane, Claudio, and Cars, if you want.
After Dark with the Barber is going to be worth $7 a month.
You get technical support by
You're
Shane
going to
and
get
Phil
a
today.
special show with me and my dad breaking down. So now all of a sudden that $1.75 for Bears Hour Live per show turns into, I mean, it's peanuts. And it's really to help Shane and I and the production quality and getting the guests and everything else. So really, you're doing us a solid. I see so many positives, and of course, you're going to have haters. If you don't, then I don't know. But I did the math.
The haters
Phil will not be
I'm not
the
a
accountant,
math
by the
guy.
way.
I'm
Phil
not an
will not
accountant.
be the accountant.
The computer takes care of it. Jim Larison is going to take care of it.
Is 2 something. I think.
$1.75. That's what it was. Sorry. But anyway, we move on to our Bear Up of the week. Shane, you get to kick it off here on the snake.
I'm going to go to the, or stay on the same side of the ball, I should say, and we're going to give my Bear Up this week to the young guy on the offensive line, James Daniels. I've been very upfront. I'm not an offensive line guy, but Phil, I mean, I've even been talking to you separately about this. I mean, this kid is so fucking fun to watch now because his entire demeanor has changed, and I have to give a tip of the hat to the new offensive line coach, Juan Castillo, because this dude doesn't just want to put you on the ground. He wants to fucking destroy you. And he's so young and he's so fucking aggressive. And he has taken that step to the point where right now he's the best offensive lineman that you have on your team.
He's by far the best lineman. Shane fucking took my thing. I gave away my cards with Grote.
I have to do a dad joke, so everybody needs to forgive me, but James Daniels needs to start doing IHOP commercials because he's brought pancakes back to Chicago, right? Like that's
A miracle can happen. You never know.
IHOP. He is a pancake maker right now, and
But he's just
playing
looking-
with such an
He's
athletic,
looking for dudes to
aggressive. That counter play is my favorite play. I should cue it up. You know what? While you're talking, go ahead, talk a little bit more.
Well, I'm
Let's
just going
go
to get the
cue that
copyright infringement papers worked up here for this illegal NFL film that we're
No,
about
it's
to
from The Tape Never Lies. I'm going to go
I
on
know.
my own. Look
There
at
you
that.
go.
Defense. Can you guys see this on your end?
No.
Perfect. That's because I didn't want it to be seen. You guys continue talking.
Can you please close out your Pornhub tab? There's our Pornhub mention for the week.
Why
We're
are there
good. Now moving on.
There's so many commercials on The Tape Never Lies now. It's unbelievable. But can you hear it?
We hear it. Return of the
Hear
Mac.
Return of- Oh, you guys can hear it too. Look at this.
Thank you so much for
It's a commercial. I'm trying to fast forward to get to the last play of The Tape Never Lies, and it's not giving me that because there's so many commercials. You know what that means, Shane? We're doing something right when YouTube's putting commercials on it.
That's right.
All right, here we go. You guys ready for this? Let me
Let's do
pause. Oh, perfect. We're going to watch.
We'll clean all this up in post-production, everybody. Don't worry.
It's hard to do it because we didn't plan
My
it.
friend won't even watch.
I asked you to keep
because
talking.
Well, I mean, we don't have much else left to say. I mean,
Phil wants us to keep talking, but he hasn't shut the fuck up yet.
there it is.
He took a shot. I feel
Oh.
hurt. Here we go. I think I
I
got
love this family.
Look at that. It's only
Here
me.
we
Why
go.
is that? Here we go. Now I got to go back to the other side. This is not easy, by the way.
It's not
There you
easy
go.
being cheesy.
It's all set up. Now, YouTube doesn't give me the option to control it.
Catches
But
it.
look at James.
The Ottochian special.
The Ottochian special.
Call this the coach Ottochian.
Watch James.
Counterplay.
He pushes
Look,
this guy
boom.
into another guy.
Look at that.
Look at,
Two
watch, he takes out
collide.
this other guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
James
Watch it.
He
Daniels.
pushes him so
You
hard
gotta
into
love
this other
James
guy and
Daniels.
thanks him
Well,
out.
watch him. This is the victory wall. Look at him.
right.
Double climb on him. Arr!
That's the kind of
That's the mating
Look at it.
walrus right
We're gonna
there.
have to give
Yeah.
that
Look
a
at
name.
Like, we've
That's the
missed this
victory.
since healthy Kyle.
You know what made that
Like,
clip, Phil, was the double audio. It's my favorite part.
David
Oh, yeah, the
Montgomery. This is
tape
your
never
boy,
lies,
Draft
Shane.
Dr.
I think we have
Phil on the-
we should have more of us talking over video clips. I think it's actually pretty
There
good.
you go. So there you go. We're back. But you were talking about him, and how could you not love that attitude and that?
You didn't see that last year.
No.
You didn't see that last year.
No.
Where he's just wrecking
hesitancy everywhere.
Yep.
Not knowing what their assignments were, who do they block? I mean,
So,
I've seen
Phil,
a couple of those. Go ahead.
James Daniels is my bear up of the week.
Beautiful. A bear up,
Very nice.
a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. And who's your bear up? Claudio the barber.
I mean, it's got to be Big Dick Nick. I mean, how can it not be?
Oh, God.
I want to find
We're
out
gonna
how he
be
got
upset.
that nickname, but listen.
Shane gave it to him.
No, Shane did not give it.
No, the Philly fans.
The Eagles
had to give it
fan?
to him.
Yeah.
No, the Eagles fans loved.
So, obviously he was my guy before the season started. I wanted him. I had faith in him. And Phil, when we were watching that game, what did I tell you? When he came in, I felt at ease. I didn't have the tension, of is he going to make a mistake? I just had the confidence in him because the dude won a Super Bowl. He's done it. He's just unflappable sometimes. So he made it. He made great throws. He didn't make any many bad decisions, and I think he's got to be the bear up. I mean, the guy threw 3 touchdowns. Should have been 5 touchdowns, and pretty much in a one quarter and a half, and he looked great in the visor. Great.
Yeah,
The visor's got to
The visor was badass.
Why can't they? Why is it the NFL rule that
Shane
affected
was-
the policy Shane was talking about?
I think so. Or it's the lasers in his eyes that burn holes in it, maybe. And
I was wondering if
did
it's like
the
a
visor.
condensation inside, like in your car when it's maybe the rain that was coming into the dome wasn't.
I had a
impacting it.
visor
I don't
like
know.
that, and the ref said I had to remove it because of concussion fear that they couldn't see your eyes.
see your eyes
That was
rolling.
the
Oh,
thing. So I don't
interesting.
know if that is continuing into the NFL because so many players have had that visor. I remember Jim McMahon wearing the black visor with the San
what I
Diego
said.
Chargers, and then again with the Falcons.
he's
I mean,
the
not the Falcons,
reincarnation of
Eagles.
Jim McMahon. He's got the
Well,
number. He's got
he
the
did
glove. He's
look-
got the visor.
He did look ready. And listen, if we're going to say this about COVID and this season, I mean, we haven't even gotten into the Titans and all of that shit that's going down and fear of that. But we have to give credit to Nick Foles on this level. He did not have any live scrimmages or practices with these guys against anybody to go out there in the middle of the game down by that amount. I know some of you love Mitch. And I love Mitch. I feel bad. I do. But the tape never lies. It doesn't. And what Nick Foles did for your football team is beyond being right or wrong or indifferent. It gets you to the next level. And that's the goal. And if this makes Mitch a better quarterback, then you're better for it. Because sometimes people that have gotten everything, Mitch is a good-looking kid, athlete, Mr. High School Football in Ohio. He's probably had everything handed to him.
Yes.
When has he gotten smacked down? Though my father would always say, Cars, you don't know what it's like to miss a meal. Some of our listeners here, I get goosebumps on. They know what it's like to miss a meal and not being able to feed your kid or yourself or whatever. So that really changes the culture. So how Mitch handles this situation is going to be very telling about him. But we can't overlook Claudio's bear up this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I gotta do it for the record. So my bear up for the week is Nick Foles, our
There you
starter for the rest of the season and into the playoffs. So let's go.
Certainly wasn't your question to Grote, dickhead.
Double entendre question. Cars, you're going on the upswing now. Positivity. I know you're not used to that. Glenn from Indiana gets upset with you half the time.
Oh yeah, I'm such a negative guy. That's right. It's tough. There's two guys on the defensive side, but for me, it's Akeem Hicks this week. I thought there were a couple times like I just need someone to make a play, and then all of a sudden he showed up on screen. And let's be real, right? That Atlanta line has been really good. They have not a lot of sacks for Matt Ryan.
Yep.
To get 5 QB hits from, a 5 technique is something ridiculous in the way the NFL has been played. So just the one play that when he decapitated. Oh, yeah. When he decapitated Ryan, right, and lifted him off the air with a hit, it was just such
that roughing the passer call was terrible. There's nothing. He doesn't know. He didn't. What is he supposed to do? I mean,
they can't make that play. That penalty is the worst in the NFL outside of the catch continuation. It's brutal.
It is brutal. There's no way a defensive
Hicks
lineman.
half a sack off the NFL lead.
Yeah, he's
From
at
the
3.5 through
interior,
3 games. Yep, he's number two or number 3 in the NFL right now in sacks.
I thought, I'm gonna keep it 100, that he was gonna get a flag on that hit.
Oh.
Where he he destroyed. I put it up. I didn't even want to bring too much attention to it because Jaylen got beat on a double go, and it was his only bad play, Johnson. But Akeem saved his ass because he fucking leveled. Destroyed Matt Ryan, the icicle.
It was fun because I had concerns after week 1 where he did not look like the same guy. Right. They got alleviated a little bit in week 2, and he blew the door off of it in week 3. So that is so key, right? Because we've seen Pagano doesn't seem to want to blitz. He doesn't want to. He wants to create pressure with the front 4, and he's such a vital portion for that. So Akeem Hicks is my bear up for the week.
Akeem the Dream. There you go. Look at that.
You got a request, Phil. You got a request there.
I do? Where?
Right here.
See. Go
he
ahead.
says you need to write a song for Foles and Hicks. That's what they want to hear. The fans want to hear some
I'm gonna
songs.
get to song. I've been so busy. I told
thanks,
Shane.
Bob.
That will come on Patreon, Bob.
I've been so busy with cutting tape. Shane made a point. It's like people don't realize that we have day jobs too and families and stuff. So I'm trying to do all these things, and then you get these fucking little troll haters, and it's like, do you have an ounce of understanding or sympathy or compassion? I should know this by now.
No.
I care too much.
No.
I care too much, Cars, sometimes. I just got to treat
Do you need
everybody
internet
and turn...
internet?
Yeah, I
Let's
do,
see if I
I
could get
do.
this right. There we go.
It just
There we go.
baffles my mind. I'm sorry. It's 31 minutes of football analysis from a coach's view, and I don't know what to tell you.
There's a lot of Glens out there.
12,000 views on it says different than some of the fucking troll. Anyway, my bear up this week goes back to last week's Saturday morning Tape Never Lies, and the best football player I've seen since Walter Payton put on the uniform. I've said that, Shane, for how many years now? Since he's been here. It's not an exaggeration. I am not afraid to pat myself on the back, and in this case, I'm going to say this. I've uncovered every person that fights the good fight, like Shane, myself, Cars, and Claudio, and love this fucking team and understand what a player that Khalil Mack is. I unveiled your smoking gun. So you could just take the tape never lies and throw it into the face of that Packer fan or the fucking phony Bear fan that's just there for one game every now and then. Oh, he's overrated. $100 million for that? How many sacks he got? How many sacks? Go watch the tape and watch how. And some of you have kept it 100 like this show and said, dude, you've totally changed my view on Khalil Mack. I didn't know that all that's going on. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why we fucking started this network. So without further ado, the guy, I mean, that strip sack where the roughing call is, I mean, that's where championships are won, with the turnovers and the momentum and the energy of the defense. Khalil Mack is one step away from changing the game every play. And I think that in and above itself, and watching him play with Cars' guy, Akeem Hicks, is amazing. So my bear up is none other than number 52, Khalil Mack.
God,
There
that
you
guy's
go.
so overrated. It's terrible. Oh, did he? I mean, like, I'm just looking at his sack numbers,
Thank
Phil. I
you,
don't know how
Easy.
you do this. Yeah, I don't know how you do this.
Well, he wins every time, and more times than not. And in three-step game, it's hard to get a sack. So when you get your hand on someone's quarterback with that, it affects the game every time. And believe me,
expect a lot of 3 steps this week.
Good players don't leave New England, Phil. Remember that myth?
good players don't leave New England, guys. But I know something about good and bad. I've never been afraid to share the good and the bad. Have I, Cars?
You're usually very measured in your takes. You're kind of just, sometimes it's like, I wish you would just take a side on a fight somewhere and like put your stake in the ground over something, and it'd just be nice. Really, it'd be nice. Stand for something.
I wear my heart on my sleeve. I do.
Absolutely.
And it's a
Absolutely.
detriment sometimes, but most times it's a benefit. I think people respect that. And I thank you for sharing, subscribing, and liking the Tape Never Lies Network and Draft Dr. Phil's Tape Never Lies on the network. So we have continuous stuff. And be ready
Phil,
this week. We're going to go
we have
live at
major
some point.
breaking news.
Oh, let me get this guy's breaking
Let's get
news.
it.
Let's go.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
You know what it is? Any guesses?
Just give us the news.
Trubisky to the Jets.
No, look at the bottom of the screen.
5K.
Oh, 5,000
Never Lies
subscribers.
That is awesome.
5,000
Oh my
subscribers.
God. I would normally love to play like a song at that point.
But we're
because
good.
I'm such...
Don't ruin it. I'm just saying. No, that is very impressive.
5,000
That's humbling, man.
subscribers.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We have
In
not
a short
hit,
while.
We have
It's
not
such
hit
a
week 4
short
yet.
time. We're not
Yeah.
even in week 4. We're at 5,000. Where's Andre?
I'm
were
going to be at when
told-
we're in the playoffs with the number 2
We were
seed.
told that 2,000 by April 2021 would be aggressive. Phil, do you not remember
Really?
that? Wow.
Hey, listen, I mean, I don't want to take credit, but I show up and the
It's true.
subscriber numbers go up. So, like,
Absolutely.
causality.
Listen, this is great for us, Cars. Thank you.
It was
Chubb's-
Cars and
Chubb's signed up
Claudio's
with
big
47
scissors.
I think it's the
his
cut it
burner
out
accounts.
segment.
Yeah.
It's the cut it out
It could be the
segment.
cut
Put
it.
it over the
It
top.
could be the cut it out. It could be the dumbest tweets of the week. It could be the tape never lies. It could be the music. It could be the intros.
I think it's the walrus. I think
It
it's
could
the
be the
walrus.
walrus,
Cuckoo,
but-
cuckoo.
But
It's
the
what it
reality is, it's
Phil-
there. I've never been this happy. I'm honest. Seriously. Keep it at 100.
Claudio and I have been working on something with Phil, and Cars doesn't even know about it, but he's giving away some of our secrets with that little
yes.
that little song right there.
Oh my God! I am sorry.
Listen, you guys, you fans of the Steven and Zach over at Shy City said Bears Hour Live was downloaded, over 2,000 something times this week. You saw the views there on Bears Hour Live's up to over 9,000. It's the best post-game show. I can guarantee it. I already know. I've seen the competition. They must have go sideways. Anyway,
we're a network of interactivity.
We're going to continue.
Today is Wednesday, so everybody in the chat, if you have whatever social media forum that you use, we want to hit 6K before the game on Sunday.
Share.
So you can be
Word
a
of
big
mouth.
part of this. Yes,
it's like a pizza place that's really good.
One Bears fan, let them know about the Tape Never Lies Network. They might come
Shy
here. They
City
might like
Sports.
it. We swear. Some people don't like it. Some people just don't like us. It's fine.
Someone wanted to stop swearing.
Right. We're not going to tear our network apart because we roid rage and have everybody quit.
Shots fired.
Hey, what's the matter for you? But anyway, great breaking news live on the air. We unscripted always, guys. But one thing we do script, and I really want to thank, like Claudio said, I want to thank you guys for all the support, the kindness in the comments at YouTube for the Tape Never Lies and our shows, Keeping It 100. Thank you guys. And thank you guys for sharing. I don't ever get bothered by someone DMing me. Follow me on Instagram right there. Feel free to ask me anything. I'm always going to keep it 100. We'll always be talking football and about this freaking 3-0 season, COVID. We've had so many questions, and you got the Titans and all that drama, but we have football, and that's the best thing because it's the greatest game in the world. I always say that. But that brings us to our next thing, and every week, Shane goes through Twitter. I don't do Twitter anymore. I've had bad experiences, they say.
Yeah, burn the fuck out.
Can we sit down one day and talk about what happened about that?
How many times can I address? Anyway, I don't do it. But we do something in regards to that with Shane.
Dumbest tweets of the week.
Oh yeah, every week, right here on this network. How is the sound level, Shane? Is it okay? I want to make sure.
Better than it was Sunday, you dickhead.
We're going to talk about the dumb tweet and then the positive tweet. Every week, Shane scours the Twitter sphere to find out. Nobody's safe, including any of these guys that are tweeting. We always do it, and we do it truthfully here on Keeping It 100. And I do it like this, with my soliloquy. I think that's what they call it. I'll have to ask our boy Brett Maley, who will be coming on the show with us soon. I go like this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 5 motherfucking K, yeah.
He's the guy who delivers the mail. He's not some phony ass climbing up poles. I gotta give my man credit. He called it. It would only be a matter of time till our QB was Nick Foles. He's the smartest man, and these are his dumbest tweets of the week. Oh, there you go, Shane. Dumb tweets this week. What do you got?
Are you putting them up for me, or is that what you're doing here?
I can't do it all. I mean, I can't even read. Which one's the number one? You didn't. Dumbest tweet number one. Here we go.
All right. This isn't NFL, but this was so dumb I had to put it up there by Bryce Rossler. So much for SEC supremacy. Seven SEC teams lost their season openers today. That's the highest mark since the conference's inception in 1932. let me let you in on some little insider knowledge here, Bryce. The SEC is playing an only SEC schedule this year, dumbass. So they also had 7 wins this week to go with their 7 losses. That's how it works, you fucking idiot. So that might be one
surprise.
of the yeah.
He
That might
writes
be
for the
one
Lions
of
Wire.
yes,
If
exactly.
you like
That's
that tweet. You better go in there.
right.
And like it.
And Cars brought up the best part. Bryce happens to write for who? Lions Wire. So motherfuckers are taking L's everywhere.
Oh, he dropped the ball on that one.
That explains it all.
Nick Foles told him to run to the L. The whole Detroit franchise fucking ran there and fucking lived there since 1957.
You've got to run over them because they've made a living at that fucking L.
Exactly.
I mean, for Jesus.
Oh
Man,
boy.
How the hell could you get that wrong? Jeez.
No idea. No
Not
idea.
even putting it together for himself. You have another one, though.
I
Another dumb tweet. Let's put that up there.
Yeah, Matt Schneidman at Matt Schneidman. Schneidman. Yeah. So the Packers have 3 perennial All-Pros whose status is up in the air for tonight in New Orleans. Wide receiver Devontae Adams with a hammy, defensive tackle Kenny Clark with a groin, left guard Elgton Jenkins back and rib. A nice, stressful day for Packers fans until inactives come out at 5:50 p.m. Central. Well, Matt, I'll let you in on some insider info here. 3 perennial All-Pros. Well, none of the 3 that you mentioned have made the All-Pro team. That's not what perennial All-Pros stands for. You actually have to make one. Like year after year.
2? Yeah, like to be...
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
You're still going to go away jammed up in the mouth.
I'm not sure you should trust anybody with the last name Schneidman anyway. So, but...
the Germans invaded.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor, I think they invaded?
Yeah. Oh, God, we're going to get comments on that on YouTube. Do you realize it wasn't the Germans' cars, you dummy?
What? Crap, I got to go back to
Way
my
off.
Wikipedia. Yeah.
Just a bit outside, Schneidman.
Yeah.
Not one Pro Bowl between them.
Well, All-Pro. All-Pro. We're not
All-Pro.
talking Pro Bowls. You know, there's a big difference between Pro Bowl and All-Pro.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
There's a big difference between good and bad. Do you have any other bads, or we're moving on to your good?
Yeah, we had the 2 dumbs, and now we're going to move to the tweet of the week, Phil.
The tweet of the week. That means I gotta turn my page. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even some more Jaylen Johnson love coming up next, yeah.
He's the smartest man, and this is his tweet of the week. He was the guy who said, forget rainbows and sunshine. Let's get ourselves a fucking barber. I don't know about you, but I know Cars is now more comfy with the Chicago Bears starter, Glenn. He's the smartest man, and this is the tweet of the week. I just had deja vu. Holy shit. There you go. Do you have your tweet of the week?
I do. Do you want me to
Oh, you
throw it
need
up
me
here?
to put it up there.
I got it. Oh, there you
Okay.
go. We did it at the same time.
Go ahead, you did.
There it is.
Please don't ever say that again.
Yeah, Jesus. So look at this. PFF. We have to give them some love, actually, for once, because they sent out something that was good.
What do you
Austin
think
Gale.
he's saying in that picture? I work at PFF.
I'm hipster and my jeans are 16
Right.
sizes too
His
small.
shirt is unbuttoned. Farther than Grote's. Look at this.
Oh my God! I think Grote's was just stretched
Wait,
out.
that
right?
is he does have a t-shirt. It was blending in.
I think Austin also writes for Lions Wire. I'm just kidding. But anyway, Austin Gale sent out a tweet that said the Bears' Jaylen Johnson has allowed 0.19 yards per coverage snap when lined up in press this season. Wow. That leads all qualifying NFL cornerbacks through week 3. Think about that one. I mean, how ridiculously impressive is that? I mean, the night of the draft, my main concern was Jaylen Johnson and his shoulders. I never denied the talent. We talked about that live on the air. All of us did. I know, Claudio, you weren't there, but without the injury concern, the kid was a top 20 talent all day long, and I think we can all agree on that here. But man, what a pleasant surprise that this kid has been, because when healthy, he has even exceeded my expectations. And
he's no Jeff Okudah, though. I think that's very clear. Yeah.
Yeah, quarterback rating against Jeff Okudah this year, 92.3.
Oh, Jesus.
So
is that a station in Detroit?
They play loser rock.
Shout out to my man Mark Carter checking in from London, England. Look at that.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
Yeah. Live shout out, Shane.
But you don't see a lot of these guys get the love, but I mean, the more and more if this continues, this kid has to be up within the top 3 of defensive rookie of the year talk. I mean, that it's solidified for being really a shutdown type guy. That it's very, very rare for a rookie to come in and do that. And I mean, how lucky are we to have, Kyle Fuller looks to have even taken another step, and we're not used to that in Chicago with a secondary, Kyle Fuller and Jaylen Johnson and Eddie Jackson, and even, Tayshaun Gibson hasn't been, I mean, he came up with a big play, but he's brought some steadiness, and I think that's really what they want, at that other spot more so than anything. But to get back to the tweet there with Jaylen Johnson, this kid is, I mentioned to Grote about the building block. You're talking Akeem Hicks, you're talking Khalil Mack, and he's right there in guys in terms of moving forward that you're not going very far down that list before you get to number 33.
No, not at all.
I thank you, Chicago. Parker, I see the compliment. We got to focus on positivity. Positivity is Jaylen Johnson. I put up the play against him. Do we have to go back to the tape never lies where he cleans and reroutes explosively to close that gap and distance between one of the best route runners in all of football and Calvin Ridley? To close like that and get your hand in there, I mean, I can't even express. I had to put it on the tape never lies because it was so good. So Shane pointing out some good stuff there, man.
And carrying on the tradition of number 33 here in Chicago at the cornerback position. I think that's also, that's a big deal.
You think he could be better than Tillman? You think he could actually be better? What do you think?
I hate
players.
Tillman was a ball hawk. Yeah.
Well, Tillman was a cover 2 guy, right? Like Jalen's getting a lot more man look, and he's doing so. It's gonna be different,
And Peanut didn't get the respect that he deserved until late in his career. I mean, what was it, year 9 or something before he made the Pro Bowl? What was it? So
that first play with Calvin Ridley was actually with Kyle Fuller passing to Eddie.
Yeah.
So I saw one of the comments in there. It wasn't on Jaylen. But, I believe, and this could be a whole other show, which we will do in Patreon, breaking down and putting a microscope on players, not only on the team now, obviously. Like you saw the Khalil Mack tape Never Lies. You're going to see more of that isolated. So tonight, by show's end, we're going to go with the 100 crew that are listening on the show with the most votes. Claudio's going to count them up. That's who I'm going to work on the tape for Saturday morning. And then be on the lookout. We might get some surprises thereafter. But your votes on defensively, to be more clear, 100 crew, who do you want me to put the microscope on for this week? So get those votes in. We'll tally them up by the show's end. TTNL, Akeem Hicks, TTNL, Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan, Jaylen Johnson, whatever it is, I'm going to get
I want you to do all 7 of Ryan Nall's snaps. I want you to do a deep dive into each one of the 7 if you could. That'd be great.
Yeah. Well, my final point, Charles Tillman should be in the Hall at some point.
Oh,
based
totally
on his
agree.
turnover.
Absolutely.
I know Hub Arkish and I got into a spat over that, but that's another story.
It's Hub.
Shane, go ahead.
No, but Phil, just to move off of the tweets here, I know there's been some talk about it in the chat room, so I'm going to throw this up there and we can all comment on it because we saw Tariq Cohen unfortunately go down. I mean, I never like to see a guy's season end the way that did, and I do agree with Cars. I didn't think that the Bears would ever invest in Tariq in an extension right now, but they did, and he's a Bear. So, but the Bears brought in some running backs to work out, and there is the Dalen Dawkins, Tavian Feaster, Lamar Miller, and Jonathan Williams. I don't know if this is going to be just a kind of a look-see to see, maybe, I don't know.
Everyone knows Lamar Miller.
He would be an interesting, option there, I think. But to me, that's the one position where you can find guys. Like, I'm not counting out Pierce at all.
At all, yep.
At all. And, he's a kid that I'm actually pretty excited about to see him get a shot because, and I hate to even put this out there, but if a guy like David Montgomery goes down, yes, Ryan Nall has proved in college, but I feel a lot better having a guy like Pierce in there that can tote the rock. I mean, he's not everything that you want in a running back, but he's got some David Montgomery-like qualities to his game. And he's a kid that I'm not counting out at all, but I think maybe they'll see if he is active, see what he does this weekend, or if another guy goes down, I'm not sure. But what did you say? Nall had 7 snaps?
I think that might have been last week, or I can't remember which week. I mean, he's been somewhere around under 10 each of the last 2 weeks.
So, but what do you guys think of that list? Or is there? I couldn't tell you much about Dalen Dawkins or Feaster, just being completely honest. But any of these guys that you'd like to see brought in or added to the team, because you can sign any of these guys to the practice squad even.
I think Lamar Miller is a guy that you're gonna need someone that's gonna be able to carry the rock. Cordarrelle Patterson, for everything that he does great, is more gadget and gimmick and that kind of stuff in situations to use him where, God forbid, anything happened to David Montgomery, which, listen, in this game, you've seen it, then you need someone that has some experience, in my opinion. And Lamar Miller, he played down in Houston. He played with the Dolphins. He's someone that understands that outside zone, inside zone game, but he also has very good hands. So
Does he ever return punts?
That I don't think
Cars?
so.
I don't think he ever has. No.
No, they also brought other kids in the past too. So,
I'm surprised, candidly, with Kareth White sitting in the Lions practice squad. That's another guy that I think will get a look. I mean, to Phil's point, Lamar Miller makes the most sense. I mean, he's only available because he missed with an ACL last season, so that's always a concern. But he's the one name that's out there right now that kind of gets you interested. He's a guy who's done it and knows what he's and is kind of a lot more similar, in a running style where he's not going to be as gadgety as Cohen. So I don't know. It's interesting. And with the way the NFL is now, you're not giving guys 20 carries a game unless it's Derrick Henry, right? Like you're giving a guy somewhere between 16 and 18 carries a game. So you got to figure out between Patterson, Nall, Pierce, and Miller, if they bring him in, like how those are going to get distributed. But it's going to be, I don't know. I think they're going to probably just roll with Pierce, to be honest, and see what happens.
it's going to be interesting. How many backs do they have on the practice squad? Does anybody know? I
think Pierce was it.
Pierce.
Yeah.
Pierce was it. Yep.
That's strange to me on the GM planning committee. But I would definitely have another back on there.
Well, I guess none of those guys really have been injured. I mean, like Cohen has never been injured. These guys, you kind of bank on it. I think someone kind of said, right, Snacks is coming. I think, or like for a meeting.
Right.
They've kind of focused in some of these other higher impact areas like line. He says, according to when Cordero Patterson reached out to him on Twitter and said, when you coming to Chicago for a visit? He said after Seattle. So supposedly that's coming.
He's not supposed to be in Seattle until next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess that's what somebody said tonight. Yeah. He's not supposed to go there until next week. But, yeah, because
that'd be an interesting signing there. I thought
Cars, you pointed it out when you and I were talking about it. I mean, I'm definitely taking the gamble with him, but I think, at this point, I think it is legitimate to ask where his heart is in all of this, with some of these
Snacks,
guys.
You're saying?
Yeah, I mean, he was crying at the end because he thought it was done. And so, I mean, please don't get me wrong. If he's healthy and motivated, he's a phenomenal player, but it could be another guy who played in Detroit and was like, man, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore, right? Like, Detroit sucks the soul out of really good football players. So who knows if he's ready?
He's such a perfect fit for what Chicago needs right now. I mean, there's nobody. McCullers, I'm not expecting anything there. I mean, I know it's fun to talk about because he's huge, but 6'7", 352. But if they could bring in a guy like Snacks he doesn't have to do much, occupy space and blockers and let everybody else eat around you.
It'll be interesting. Definitely that. I thought Urban showed up on tape, the kid, 92.
Yes, and his wife is one of the best fans out there.
Someone showed me that. Shane sent me that. Yeah. Cracking the beers.
That was glorious. Like that just screams Chicago Bears. If your wife is, chugging 2 beers at the same time.
Yeah, she got hype. She definitely got hype.
She got hype. Anyway,
that was awesome.
On the business side, you can listen to this podcast on every podcast streaming application, including Amazon Prime, who's picked us up. And this is where you could find us.
Keepin It 100 can be found on all podcast streaming apps: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Overcast, Castbox, Deezer, and finally, officially on Google Music and Podcasts. It's Keepin It 100 with Phil and Shane.
Oh yeah, Keepin It 100 every Wednesday night here on Shy City Sports, presenting Keepin It 100 with Phil, Shane, and Cars and Claudio. Every week, the moderator gets us ready. The moderator also has his own segment, Cars.
It's my favorite segment of the show. I'm not lying. This is where it gets good. Break out those scissors, buddy. Let's do
Look
this.
at that smile on Claudio's face when he knows it's coming up.
Now listen,
I got a big comb somewhere too. I gotta find it. I don't know.
Before we go into the fan-anticipating, highly anticipated segment, Cut It Out with the barber, Claudio, I gotta say, if you guys, like others, have sent me videos after wins or losses, send it to me in a DM on my Instagram, or if you follow me on Facebook, I'm going to put you in the opens for Keeping It 100 like I did and you saw this evening. We're going to end the show with it so Cars can see it because he wasn't ready. That's just a little bit, only because in this showcase, to kick off this segment, you're going to see a lot of 100 crew representing and wanting to be a part of the Barber's special delivery. Hey, cut it out. What are you talking about? With Claudio the Barber. Hey, you gotta let me talk, Phil. Hey, you gotta let me speak. Claudio is gonna be bringing a new sense to Keeping It 100. It's Cut It Out with Claudio on the Tape Never Lies Network. Oh, look at you.
That's right. Cut it out. Alex wants me to do an Italian accent. Cut it out. Azzo. What's the matter for you? All right. So, listen. The highly anticipated Cut It Out segment. Are we ready to roll the
you
first
can have
clip,
your
Shane?
own background music.
I know.
Look at that.
I feel special.
Cut it out.
I feel warm and
Did he
fuzzy.
do a good enough job, Shane?
Oh, this makes me so happy.
Was he better this week?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
he's
keeps getting
getting
better.
Getting
The
better.
scouts are telling me. he's
Hopefully
getting
by
better.
year 4 we don't have to bench his ass.
I can't. You know what? That's my next Tape Never Lies. Is Tape Never Lies on the Claudio segments. If you could start to break down those, I would absolutely love it.
I'll throw it in the middle of
Let's
the
do it.
Tape Never Lies. Claudio, cut it
Let's go.
out.
All right,
Every
roll it.
week you get into it. You ready?
Let's go.
Don't
we talked about
forget.
this first one.
Back down here at the edge, going against Ginn, and I mean.
Claudio forgets to unmute your mic.
No, it's not mute.
No,
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead,
it's
go
on
ahead.
mute. Yeah, that's the problem.
This is game-changing shit. Cut it out with that shit. We've talked about it many times. It happens week after week. It's bullshit. It needs to stop. Cut it out. That's my serious cut it out right there.
Yeah,
That's for
I
real.
mean, the
come on.
laws of physics.
You can't stop.
Khalil's hitting him this way. He's fucking going down without the ball. The ball
There needs to be
leaves.
intent. There's no intent.
Yes.
It needs to be intent.
I like
We
that.
did math
Claudio.
and physics on a show.
Yes,
Math
intent
and-
too. It's
And
like
we
a
brought up
criminal.
the
It's a
I bring up
crime.
the CDC. I bring up
CSI.
everything. Everything.
Football
blood
CSI.
We
But I
start
think,
breaking
you know,
down
but for real, I mean,
spatter.
these calls, it's also the defenseless receiver calls. There has to be intent there. It can't be a bang bang play. The refs have to see this. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous. It's all the time. I understand they've got to keep these quarterbacks safe and whatever, but it's football. So, you know, it happens. Get over it.
They should cut it out.
They should
Worst
cut
call.
it out.
They
So,
should definitely
that's
cut it out.
Cut.
But not
Need
you,
a bigger
Claudio.
scissor for them.
You keep bringing it on Cut It Out. Here we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Next
Mitch.
one.
Just accepted the news. I had Nick's back like he's had mine, and the situation.
He forgets to do it every
Oh my
time.
God.
That's
Go ahead.
Cut it out.
This is
Stop
what makes this
forgetting
so
to
great
press
for me.
the mute.
There's got to be a way to. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ladies listening at home, Claudio continues to forget. Remember when?
It's a long
if
night.
Woody,
It's late.
If
It's
Woody
late.
would have gone to the police,
Past my
do
bedtime
you remember
right
that?
now.
Well,
Here
we
we
will edit this out and
Just-
post.
Here we
Just
go.
accepted the news. I had.
All right,
Nick's
so our
back,
boy
he's
Mitch,
had mine,
listen,
and
dude, we
the
love
situation
you.
Sucked,
But first, you got
it
to
was
cut
just
it
the flow
out.
of the game, how it was
We're
happening.
talking
Coach made a
about
decision that he
they and
felt was
not
best for the
we
team,
when you
and
talk about the team.
I'm really
first
happy
of all.
for this
Second
team.
of all,
I mean,
your backpack, bro.
they
We know
battled
you're
back,
taking a hike.
and, it was
You're like
awesome
Dora
to
the
get a W,
Explorer.
It sucks to get news like that.
Listen, what's up? There he is. Mitchie the Explorer. Mitchie the Explorer. He's going to be exploring his... Sorry, listen, Mitch fans, listen.
You're going to get some heat.
I know, but
Chubbs
listen.
is coming for you, man.
Listen, Chubbs.
You're in for it.
What you gotta admit, the backpack just does not send a good message. It just it looks like he's ready to go. He's ready to run. So listen,
there he is.
I love Mitch, but I love Foles more right now. So, all right, save the best for last. We're gonna save the best for last. Here, so let's go. And I'm gonna hit the mute button.
The best for last.
I cannot wait. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm giddy. I'm
They're
giddy.
like taking a long time to load up on my end.
All right.
Just okay. Here we go. You ready? Make sure you're ready with the mute.
My pointer is on the mute button.
There you go.
2 tackles. You don't say a word about it? Cut it out! What the fuck? Cut it out!
Oh my God, Vilma was horrible.
Did Claudio just take out a hit on our show?
He did.
Yeah, I did. Anybody?
It was the microphone, so it's not a legit hit.
Take out the mic. That means kill his mic when he's announcing our games because he's horrible. Horrible. I don't know if he's worse than Booger, but he's horrible.
Hey, cut it out.
Love it. Love it. I'm having fun.
I need 5 videos next week. To cut it out.
The fact that Adam Johns thought Jonathan Vilma did a great job.
Yeah,
I'm like, this guy was lost, like he was on the island with the others. For those Lost fans in
his medium jacket, jacket he had.
I'm a big fan of this medium.
I thought he was terrible, and that really you're being truthful. Cut it out, Jonathan.
Cut it out.
All right, that's it. Cut it out, Claudio. Bringing it. What's his grade this week? You have something else you wanted to say to add?
No, I was just going to say
he's at a solid
fun. I'm having fun
now, right? Are we grading him out of 10?
Yeah.
He started out at like 1.5. Then he doubled it. He went up to 3, and I think he just doubled it again. He's at a solid.
See, when
6.
I got a little time to prepare, it's a little better. So it's
and plus
work in
you're
progress.
a little calmer. You're not a whiny little bitch.
That's right. Yeah. Well, there was other things going on that night that we won't talk about, but it's a family show. My kids could be watching.
It's really not much of a family show.
It really is.
But yeah, it's
Cut
all
it
good.
out.
I love it. I have fun. It's good. Let's do it.
Glad you do. Again, let's just give it a little.
Hey, cut it out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there you go. Cut it out. Every week here on Keeping It 100, Claudio dives into something Bears or football and calls it out for the shit that it is. And tonight was no different. Have we covered it all, Shane?
No, because Cherie is going to tell us that
she loves.
we
this
need
is
our
the,
predictions.
We should call this the Cherie segment. I think we should do that. I'm going to produce something called the Cherie Bold Predictions. And predictions.
I think Don has put this in the chat probably 47 times tonight, so we can answer it for him real quick. It's because they don't win consistently, Don. That's until the Bears start to win consistently, they're not going to get any respect from anywhere.
Or you have a really good quarterback.
Well, right, exactly.
We don't ever have a usually those go hand in hand. But yes.
Until we get Tyler Braid juiced up and ready to go, we're not going to get that respect.
Oh yeah, you gotta lower your voice when you hear the cut it out music every time.
Yeah.
What's the matter for you? I want the most Italian guy to come on the show with you and do cut it out. Hey.
That would be great.
Anyway.
Oh my God, that would be glorious.
I had a request to come to my shop on YouTube. So
Look at that. Bring them in.
I think Foles needs to come to my shop.
Let's go around the horn here. We'll start off with Shane. Give us your prediction. Colts, Bears. And then also get it out of your way with something bold.
Pain. Clubber Lang. Rocky 3.
I love my favorite Rocky.
don't know about that.
That is my favorite Rocky.
No,
I'm a big
the
Mr.
Colts.
Defense.
This Colts team, they have some fucking players on defense. You can't ever count out a veteran quarterback. But I feel like coming back to Soldier Field, I think this team is ignited. I think they have some faith in the signal caller a little bit more. I think the defense is jacked up because I think they're expecting the offense to put some points up on the board so these guys can pin their ears back and go fucking hunt. And that's what this defense has been, the way that it's been constructed. You know, I think part of the reason why we kill Pagano so much is we want to see this more aggressive mentality, and that could be a direct effect of not having faith in the offense because points are critical, so you don't want to give up the big play. So I think if this offense gets cranked up, I think you may see a more aggressive Chuck Pagano on defense, willing to blitz more, to let Roquan. You can't sack the quarterback unless if you don't blitz Roquan, and I think that's a huge part of his game. So in terms of the score, I'm going to say Chicago 28, Indianapolis 18. Chicago Bears win in Soldier Field.
28-18?
28-18.
Okay.
And Nick Foles throws for 3 more touchdowns, and Cole Kmet gets one of those.
There you
Cole
go.
Kmet sighting.
Cole Kmet sighting. Claudio, what do you got?
So, yeah,
Last
I mean,
week you went against the Bears.
I did, and honestly, just to say that, if Foles was starting that game, I'm going Bears. So I just did not have the confidence. But anyways, I'm going Bears this week. I think we're gonna prove on defense, and that we can, obviously step it up. I think Foles is going to prove it. The whole offense, I think it's going to be an all-around good game. We're going to silence these critics, these people putting us at 16 in the power rate rankings. I mean, the Saints above us at 1 and 2. I don't even know who other.
Cut it out.
Cut it out with that. That should have been a cut it out for real. I was thinking about it.
Power
I was thinking
rankings
about it.
even.
Yeah.
Don't even power rank.
It's ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm gonna go close to what you're saying. I'm gonna say 30-21 Bears. Dub Bears. And my bold prediction is Mooney gets 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. Is he going deep? Deep?
Yeah, I think I would like to see him go deep on one, but I think he's going to get 2 touchdowns. I think Foles is going to quickly see he is our number 2 on our team.
Well, there you go. Claudio's called it out. He's going. What was your
30-21.
30-21. There you go. Cars.
I like it. This one's going to be interesting because I think the Colts are a little bit of a pretender team, right? They lost to the Jags, have beaten the Minnesota Vikings, and the team that is most likely going to go 0-16, the Jets. They have great lines on both sides of the ball, but not a whole lot else. Phil Rivers, don't expect a lot of sacks, I think, from the Bears, not because the line is so great, but because Phil Rivers is getting the ball out every 2.4 seconds. Like, it takes 2.5 seconds to get to a QB. He's so scared of the rush right now, he's getting out fast. So I'm a little concerned just with that short quick passing game because our guys haven't been there. But outside, like T.Y. Hilton's had a bunch of drops. I always am happy when I get to see Xavier Rhodes on the other side of the field because I can't wait for the holding penalty that will come or the pass interference penalty that we all know and love. So I'm predicting a 24-13 Bears victory, but I think it's going to be a beat down for quite a while, just like very physical at the line on both sides until probably sometime in the third quarter.
Nice. Say it again.
I mean, they haven't seen a defense like ours. I mean, Jacksonville, Minnesota, Jets. So
No, but he's like Rivers is so scared right now, and he's throwing. So he's like the 4th fastest release, and he's the 4th shortest throw. Like he's averaging under 7 yards an air attempt. Like he is. They're not going deep. It's like, holy shit, get the ball out of my hands before somebody hurts me. So that's really why I don't believe in him.
So what was your final score?
24-13 Bears.
And your bold prediction was?
Ooh, bold prediction. That's going to be a good one.
Pat O'Donnell.
Huh?
Pat O'Donnell.
Have you
Pat
watched the
O'Donnell
Colts
is gonna
game?
earn the mega punt.
Have you watched the Colts game?
Yeah. I think that my prediction is that Eddie finally makes a pick 6, and it's going to be on a deep ball to T.Y. Hilton. That's my bold prediction.
And it doesn't get called back for a stupid penalty, right?
Yes, absolutely not.
You are a terrible person.
I've been called worse. It's fine.
Oh, you're a good dude. My prediction, I really believe in defense, and that wins games. And I really think the Nick Foles spark is coming to Chicago. And I believe that the Bears are going to beat up on the Colts pretty badly. And they are going to beat them up 35-13 at home. And I think some of the narrative that they're the best or worst 3-0 team ever. So 35-13. I'm going all in on Foles and the confidence and David Montgomery. Just feeling that defense. You got to love the Bears offensive line. And how about my boy Jimmy Graham? Adam Rank, my boy, is going to owe us some dances, Shane. He came on here, first guest, said every Jimmy Graham touchdown he's going to have a dance. So I got to call him out tomorrow.
Speaking of dancing, we haven't had a dancer on BHL yet.
I know.
Yeah. Pretty
Who's
disappointing.
going to fucking step up? Victory
We're gonna have
dance.
to ask them that before we put them on.
We need a victory
Who's
dance.
one of the 100 crew that would be willing to dance on BHL after a Bears win?
I want to see somebody do the
Sheree
Chris
just
Farley
texted me and
dance.
said she's in. She's willing to dance.
Oh shit, Sheree. You
A
don't
lot
know
of those
what you can
comments
sign
are
up for.
way behind, so it's very.
Chris Sandlin said that he would do it.
Yeah.
But he wants to do it shirtless, which is weird.
I thought Heather Sandlin would dance. Former Indianapolis Colts cheerleading finalist. Look at that. I'm throwing her business in the street. Heather Sandlin. So maybe she could dance. She can dance. Anyway, my bold prediction is that David Montgomery goes over the 100-yard mark and has 2 tutties. 2 touchdowns on Sunday.
How many carries? How many carries do you think he gets?
I'm praying for the 20-plus club, but knowing Nagy, I'm going to give him 19 just to mess with me. So 19 carries, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. There you go. That's my bold prediction.
Nice.
There you go, Shane. We did it all. Keeping it 100, we did it all. I still
Chubbs
have to
is
produce.
still too scared to come on BHL, by the way.
Chubbs.
Still trying to fix his headphones.
Is he real? Is Chubbs real?
I don't think
No.
Oh, so there you go.
so. He is
I know
actually a
real guys.
Vietnamese blow-up doll. That's the talk on the street.
I know guys that want to do something, they do it. So I like Chubbs. So I would like to see him come on and talk. When Swanky came on, he stepped up to the plate and talked.
I'm feeling this
heard of
beat,
him.
Phil. I'm feeling this beat.
I figured you would like.
I do like this beat.
Is this more your style?
Yeah, cut it out,
Laid
Claudio.
back. Cut it out, Claudio. It's not enough hip-hop. But anyway, this is our last segment of the show. Then we'll end the show tonight with shout-outs. We always do shout-outs every week on Keeping It 100. We don't charge you for the shout-out. We just love you, the people, and how you bring it, especially every week here, joining us on this network, this great new network. What are we? How many weeks old are we here?
5, right?
5 weeks old.
4, 5.
Yeah, I think we started
the week before.
The week before. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, getting a little jazzy spice for Claudia.
I need some.
we
need some smoke with this music. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel this a little bit.
I need a little bit of mood lighting. Yeah.
Anyway, every week we go to our guests and let you shout out somebody first. Claudio, do you have someone you want to shout out?
I mean, every week, of course, I got to shout out my wife. I love her. She's the best. My kids, the fans, they're the best. Everybody, But I have a customer who gave me this awesome Bears sweater I've been wearing for a couple weeks, Bill Thomas. So I just want to shout out him for giving me that. Appreciate it. And for all the support, again, from the fans. Putting up with my segment and all the antics. I love all of you guys. You guys are great.
I love you, Claudio. Spencer Strong shout-out segment. Again, just a quick reminder, if you want a business or something and you want us to promote that, reach out to Shane or I, give you the segment, intro. Like the shout-out segment is sponsored by us for Spencer Strong every week. Our homeboy 100 Crew True, Ryan Cox, son, honoring him, struggling and getting better, actually, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's been a long road for such a little guy, but he's amazing story. So yeah, whenever you guys are talking to us on social media, hashtag that Spencer Strong, and we get those positive vibes out there for Ryan Cox and his little boy Spencer, because little things like that matter.
Absolutely. Cars, do you have anybody you wanted to shout out?
Well, since he showed it, my daughter has now fully gone on full football, bear color of my heart and the football now. So she has now requested her own Bears clothes. Sat and watched an entire football game with me at 6, which is something else. So
she needs a James Daniels jersey, Connors.
Yeah, well, she was asking questions. I was pretty impressed. And then her mom started to play Mario on the Nintendo Switch, and she stopped caring. But I digress. Again, I love all the interactions. It's been a lot of fun to be on Twitter and picking fights with people and talking about stuff. Everybody's so great, but to steal from Claudio, my wife, who lets me get away with so much crap right now, and the girls, thank you. So
there you go.
Nice.
I thought Cars was gonna shout out Yeti to his travel mugs when he's traveling to visit family that he sent me pictures of.
I thought you were talking about the Mike Yeti, the blue Yeti. No, those. You sent me one of those Yetis. That thing keeps
throw
that
mine
coffee
away.
warm. I left that in my car one day for like 2 hours. I came out, it was still hot.
They work good.
They do.
They do work
Plug
good.
for Yeti. This should be the Yeti
we gotta get them
segment.
to be a sponsor.
Please just don't start doing Manscaped. Please, God, I can't.
Everybody else
I can't deal with Bears podcasters and trimming their balls.
That'll bring a whole new meaning to the Cut It
Glad I
Out
did not
segment,
hear
right?
anything about this. This is the first
Cut
time.
it out. Old news.
Do you have a ball fro? Cut it out, Claudio. Get those scissors out.
Oh, I tell people I cut from the neck up. That's the neck down.
There is a service that travels and will clean you up down there. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, Shane Marsaw, do you have any shout outs?
I do, Phil. I'm probably going to surprise you here. I'm going to shout out some of our YouTube commenters. Yeah. That's, you guys take up a lot of my time. I'm responding to these comments on our videos, and I'll be like, I better go check out some of these comments, and I look up and there's 366 of them. 24 of them are the same thing about audio issues with people yelling at us, but Stephen Corkus commented, Tape Never Lies Network, please take my money already. I'm excited for this patron draft, Dr. Phil. Hashtag bear down. Mattman06, good work as always. I love it that you point out strength and weakness for Mitch and Cohen. From my perspective, Mitch was so bothered by pressure. Foles will take a hit for extra time to potentially make a pass. Tyler V, awesome videos, Phil. The Tape Never Lies is the best way to learn about football and the Bears. Keep up the great work. Bear down. Jeff Barnard from YouTube. Oh yeah, another touchdown for the Tape Never Lies Network.
Nice.
It's the best part of my week. Spare Change said, love your show, man. Tape Never Lies is where it's at. Mark Romano. I love the videos, Draft Dr. Phil. I wish you could make more each week. You could if you subscribe to Patreon, Mark. The Tape Never Lies is the best football analysis and assessment compared to the rest.
Look at
and
that.
Leonard Chambers sent one. Appreciate it. Talking about all of our hard work here on the Tape Never Lies Network. Phil, Cars, Claudio, our social media crew, Heather Sandlin, Chris Sandlin, Alex Acevedo, Lawrence Fleming, the voice, the new voice,
the new
2.0. Yes, everybody that helps these wheels spin and go forward. Everybody at Shy City Sports that is helping us behind the scenes, even with promotion and everything. It's they say it takes a family. We're like a small little village here, all working to bring this content to you guys each and every week. And when we talk about the 5K subscribers, we're not just bullshitting. It is truly humbling that it came this fast for this network. I mean, it's impressive. I think if we were to all sit down and say, before the Week 4 game, we'd be at 5K subscribers, I don't think any of us would have expected that, because we had some people tell us that an aggressive number for us to be at would be around 2,000 subscribers in April of 2021. So we blew that the fuck out of the water, Yoko. But, anyways, but thanks. Keep the comments coming on YouTube. If you know a Bears,
to answer them.
Yeah, we can't answer every single one of them. There's not enough time in the day, but we do try to at least click like, and we do comment on a lot of them. And I know that you guys love the interaction, and that's what we're all about. We want to keep you guys involved, bring you on Bears Hour Live. We might start doing a couple of things like that on the free show to keep you guys involved. So thank you so much. But if you know a Bears fan, tell them about us. Please be part of what we're doing moving forward with the promotion, because it all means a lot. And the more that we get out there, the more product and content that we can bring to you guys. So I love you all, and thank you, and let's get fired up for Week 4.
Nice. Phil, real quick, sorry, before you do yours, I want to, Anthony Prescott is gonna do shout out to him. He's just been making some great comments and some awesome compliments for us. So want to shout him out.
Anthony.
Yeah,
I see
absolutely.
him. Anthony shows his passion, wears his heart on his sleeve like me. Well, just real quick before I shout out, just to give you the business side of things. I know we could take on this banner. There you go. So Bears Hour Live, that's going to go and become a patronage thing that you're going to be involved with, and so much more. Immediately after, we're building a website just to keep it 100 with you, and you guys will subscribe and become a part of this network, just everything we're doing there. And there's so much to get into, but I just want you to understand I'm always keeping it on Front Street, so there's no surprises. I know so many people are tuning in and everything, and we're going to keep broadcasting live all the way. The last game that we will be for free and live. So check us out and you decide. But the Tampa Bay game, Tom Brady comes to town. That'll be our last free Bears Hour Live. That show will then move to patronage, and you will be there with us just like you are in the chats and everything like that, but it will be subscriber based. The tape never lies. My work every week will be condensed on the free side, and the patronage side will get the whole thing and more on Patreon. And you will also be getting Zoom calls, extra shows, things that are happening at this network that we're very excited and we're proud of, and really, I'll keep it 100, I feel like we're deserving of what we've done and what we continue to do. I know when I say this is the best post-game show and this is the best podcast, we're learning as we go in the production side, so bear with us with the audio or whatever. But ultimately, we wear our heart on our sleeve. So I hope that you choose to ride along. And it's not something you have to commit for the year. You can commit for a month, $7, and see if it's worth it for you. And I really believe it will be. That being said, I was going to shout out this young man too, Anthony Prescott, for coming out there. Michael Williams, Chris Sandlin, Bear Truth 9, my girl, Cherie. I really appreciate kindness and compassion. That means a lot. Josh E. Listen, Josh E. is doing some great things for us here on the network. Got to shout out our manager, Jim Larison. I got to speak to Johnny Fairplay this week for The Survivor, The Greatest Liar Ever, and talk a little bit about patronage. We're going to have a website, all my videos, songs that I'm going to do for Patreon, shout out, all this stuff. It's so much. We're going to continue to talk about it because I don't want any surprises. I don't want anybody to feel, they're going, it's $7 for the month. You're going to get it. And I really am proud to be a part of that. And I think that leads me to shouting out like Claudio and everyone else. I'm not copying. I'm just saying my wife has been the champion in my corner and believing in me and saying, listen, stop dealing with the bullshit drama of all these fucking people that have their own interest at heart. Your tape never lies is the key. You are so good at that. And even me, who doesn't know anything about football, is watching and entertaining and learning. So that's where people want to see you. And then surround yourself with good people. Follow your own script, what your dad said. And this is where we are. So we get into it like that. I got to shout her out for all her support. I got to shout out my boy Chris Jackal. I saw him in the chat earlier. Came over to my house. Built the studio. It's unbelievable. Claudio's seen a little bit of it. I'm putting up the soundproof tiles and lights and getting it prepared. Hopefully by Sunday, because I was having Claudio be the disciplinarian for my twin fucking elephant thumping sons. So I also want to shout.
Fuck you, Phil.
Claudio,
Show some compassion, Phil. Show some compassion.
That's what
Phil.
I yelled that at my son, who's 6.
I'm doing a show.
I'm doing a show. Show some compassion, will you? He didn't even know what the fuck it is.
Doesn't know what that means.
Nick Williams.
That's not who I was talking about.
AJ Cardinals 2000 on the YouTube channel. My man Electric, Mike Ross, Adam Johnson, where is it? Jordan Ingram, never clicked so quickly. Lenny Aponte, got the notification and clicked on the link immediately. Claudio, another Claudio Funchal. He's Portuguese. I think he's from Canada. I could be wrong. Chris Solid, Mattman, Jay Dolo, my man Alex H, Daryl Carter on YouTube, Tyler V, Shane already shouted him out, Leonard Chambers, Nate Cox. There's another Cox. How many Cox do you got? I don't know. Ghost of Judah every week on the YouTube channel. I saw my boy, Who's Your Daddy? I don't know who's your daddy, but Hoosier, like the Hoosier in Indiana. I know Greg left that team.
Who?
Glenn. Sorry, Glenn. Tom Tenick, Ken Burke, Asante Sadler, Rock Davis from YouTube, Bubba Gump, Bridge Walker, Holland Exciter, my boy EJ Jones, Octane, Courtney Henry. Where's my boy tonight? He was in the chat tonight. Alex Acevedo, the Sandlins, repeating Lawrence, and thank you Mark Grote for coming on the show. Zach Bradley throwing his wallet in the ring. Anthony Prescott, Swanky. Where is this guy? Ed Loya, Don Gotti, like drives a Maserati in Canada. Zach Sullivan, he's gonna make us new clocks, Shane. And that's really it tonight. So I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Over 100 and something strong all night. I want to play the outro, and then we'll be done. Let me just stop sharing the music, and we'll get this going. Here's the outro for tonight and tomorrow.
The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
The tape never lies. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Nick Foles. Nick Foles. Okay.
This game is about an attitude. You're the Bears. You live and die with it. You can't let the officials control the game. And you can't let your young quarterback with the GM up in the box decide who the fuck is playing because of their status.
Make the switch to get the spark, and you saw it. I mean, you saw it, and is it sustainable? We're gonna see. We'll see. But you had to make the switch there, Phil. I'm 100% with you, and this is the overriding theme. Yeah, this is the overriding theme here, Phil. More so than anything, is yes, you can have your Mitch Truthers or your big dick Nick supporters, whatever. End of the day, we're 3-0. Nick came in and did what you want your quarterback to do. That's why they brought him here.
Couldn't handle that.
We lost to a fucking bear. This ain't even bear season.
They might as well just give the other team a lead and then try to come back, because this choking thing is just never ending. It's never gonna stop. I'm just tired of it.
Oh yeah, did you see the Bears today? 3-0. It reminded me of the time the Macho Man lifted the hookster over his head and body slammed him. In Chicago Bears, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's that time to keep it 100 with Shy City Sports.
And my boy Mark Grote.